Masculinity is in a crisis. In other words, as a question, is masculinity in a crisis? Yes. Now how did I reach this conclusion? Problem solving the crisis is forced masculism. And the problem is toxic masculinity, while the cure is sway masculism. And the solution is gentle masculinity. Now, by asking the correct questions, how and why masculinity is in a crisis, a truly pure answer may be established for what is a crisis of uncivilness and criticalness through statelessness by failure. Due to an era that causes uncivilness that lead to destruction's effect that demands urgency's required action. To avoid universal destruct by suffering and death to one and to all uncivilized destruction. Now to prove masculinity even exists, an ideal masculinity come from a real masculism belief. A form creation of state, sex, and being gendered through design. An environment by nature's reflection within masculinity. Faith, a form intent of expected union and hope desire through ideas. Blueprint by reality, structure through realities in our heart and out of mind. Masculine works, a frame, form, time of power, space, and strength. Matter through physical image by mental likeness. Unified by sexism's physicality and genderism's mentality. Of full material away, ways in truth. Or life through life, or death by image of a soul and by likeness in the spirit. That was complicated, but this is simple. A pure masculinity exists by understanding humanity's nature, through seeing mankind as being a real idea. Now, to defend how and why masculinity is in a crisis. The how is simply complicated, but simply speaking, due to humanity's failed religious leaders and mankind's the full nations, followers both religious and political, are functioning on the wrong type of masculism's belief is forced. Incorrect masculinity. Faith is toxic through masculine's work is manipulated by sexism's error is uncivilized and genderism's failure is destructive for unnecessary suffering causes effective death. Evidence of a willing crisis and a willful masculinity through the free or paid choice by own will. But now the question is why? Whose choice and will? What problem solved? Humanity's choice of unnecessary suffering and mankind's will end up. This proves 100% masculinity's in a crisis and an urgent call to correct and resolve with the best and not better solution for all evidences towards through unnecessary suffering. Chosen outcomes resulted by toxic masculinity's willful crisis. Identifies examples as suicide, abortion, divorce, lie, murder, kill, assault, force, manipulate, corrupt religion, corrupt nation, corrupt being used and abused, and many more self-evident that would have been avoided, but chosen not to due to masculism's force and rebellion's defiance. Through masculinity's toxicity by victims' reality, full knowingly or non-knowingly, or anywhere in between, depending on situational circumstances, proven by statistical data, real testimony and objectivism, subjectivity in subjectivity, this disorder in chaos crisis. True nature is also at times masquerading as chaos and order's cure, non-crisis. A false nature is a reflection of humanity's uncivil masculism being destroyed in mankind's force. Manipulationism is toxic masculinity through an illusion or delusion, directly towards to slavery's freedom choice by decay's death and anti-nature's design. Now for the cure solution for a wage of sequential choice and sowing repercussions, through reaping ramifications by heritage, judgment, reward, punishment, and life or death. For humanity's mankind to livingly exist with aims, purpose, and meanings desired by a correct type of masculinity. Correct type of masculism. Masculinity is also equal sign to exist with the correct type of feminisms and femininity, united as one, but of the correct amount and precise exact measurement through sire's affection by love's grace, united with the sign roles within and thereof throughout his positive arrangement by ways masculism, gentle masculinity, true masculine, pure sexism, male and female, and goods genderism's identity expression,
A societal rose, not a negative arrangement.
I somehow think after this, Garcia might not want to come back for an encore. Stop making fart sounds, child. Garcia might not want to come back for... Oh my God. Okay. We must mutiny. Amen. So we still have 2 minutes left. So let's see if I can media asset the other. Shut up, child. No offense. Oh no. You want to sing your Charlie Kirk song? I guess not.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Come sing your Charlie Kirk song. You have to, no, come on stage.
I'm going to sing it.
You can't sing it from up there. You have to show your face. Otherwise, they'll think it's me being a ventriloquist. No, come hither. Like right about there. So go ahead.
We are trying we fight for the gospel.
That was, you just killed half of my listeners. Like you literally just killed half of my listeners. My God.
Mom.
All right. Hey, Booby. What's up? Hey, Wrestling. How you doing, brother? Hey, sorry. There was just a lot of shenanigans my family enacted upon me. I'm trying to work through right now. So let me. I had the fucking video up, but I need to find the video. Also, Dark Side, freaking, you need to make this to the new. Hey, Wrestling. Did you hear the new T-Pain video yet? Did you hear it?
I did. I heard it.
There were two of them. They're both great. That was based upon the Owlish debate. That was the opening statement from our buddy. It's not Charlie Kirk, babesy. Yeah, I bet you did. Sorry, talking to my children. So let me find. I need to just find the stream, which is right here, actually. to share it about this, but I think also the opening and also like I mean, you've watched this, but we both watch. I've watched it twice, and I'm like less impressed every time. With the guy who defends Catholicism and Thomism, I'm just like what's even happening right now? Like, it's very unimpressive to me. So your initial thoughts before so punt for me while I pull up the actual debate, please.
Yeah, we're gonna see he's not making any one of Thomas's arguments. He's trying to condense 3 of Thomas's arguments into one argument. And
Right.
it just doesn't work. It doesn't.
And
then
he calls them all first. He calls them all first principles at the same time, which, like, if you have first principles, there is like a first principle and then others that follow from that, right? Like, you can't have like 4 first principles at the same time.
You can. I think you can, right?
I mean, as long as they're all logically consistent, sure.
Yeah.
But he's like, he tries to like do a consequentialist thing, like, because you agree with my first principles or because these first principles exist, then you automatically buy into 3, 4, 5, and 6 at the same time. I don't think that's quite what was meant by Aquinas's ideas.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah. If I can freaking find, I think I found it. Yep. Except for, yep. All right, got it. All right, lock it in. Yeah. Oh my god. All right, I just had to go back because I watched it like 3 times. Okay, all right, let's effing go. And hey, Dark Side, I think there is another T-Pain hit single in the opening and or the debate. So transcript this shit and let's go, eh? All right. It's gonna be 1.5, I think, because to diminish the amount of suffering of not the timer. To diminish the amount of suffering for our viewers, we must play it at 1.5 times. We can stop whenever you want, because I think we have a lot. You and I will have a lot to say about this, and in a non-comical way, and maybe in a comical way. Yeah, for real, for real, featuring T-Pain, and maybe some Lil Jon, maybe some yeah in there, maybe. I know, but like in the vocoder, in the T-Pain, he'll sound just like T-Pain. All right. You're not in the specific. It's like fucking. This is like a Thundercats thing. Somebody makes to make a Thundercat thing. United in the Trinity. United in their specificity. Thundercats. Go. Snarf. All right. On that note, you ready, brother?
I'm ready.
All right. I've been ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. The week-long awaited debate. I guess it's not really a long-awaited debate, but I'm here with my friend Parker. He actually said he doesn't consider me a friend, but I consider him a friend. I think he's cool. He's actually my best friend. Little known secret. But if you're not aware of Parker,
kind of gay. But let me see if I can like alter this to. How about that? That works better, so people can see the text because it's fast. So sorry. Let me go back a bit, and so I didn't want to like obscure the.
You could probably skip a couple minutes because this first, like, I think they don't really start the opening for like 2 or 3 minutes.
You're right. All right, cool. Well, I will do that then. But I think actually let's play it because I think the person Dark Side who's making like the hilarious music videos might want some of this to be part of it. So just for content creation purposes, I'm whoring myself out. I apologize. I admit there's nothing here, but it might be useful to our content creator on the backside.
he's been debating for quite a while. I know at least for 2 years, but I'm sure it goes back a little bit further than that, considering how good you are at debating. But Parker, if you want to give yourself a little bit of an introduction, be my guest, and take it away, man.
Yeah, my name is Parker. I'm known as Parker Get a Job on TikTok, YouTube, etc. I typically do politics-style debates. I used to do a bunch of religious debates, but typically do politics style debates. I grew up in a Christian household. I'm now an agnostic atheist. Don't know what the explanation is for why we're here, but always like engaging in these conversations.
Yeah, no, I am obviously a Catholic. Most people know that at this point. And I do think that I know why we're here. I think we're here to serve and to glorify God. And I think that the existence of that God, which we are here to debate today, is demonstrable. I think we can prove this using natural.
Portia, put some clothes on. My God.
What's that?
Was that you playing that?
I'm not playing anything.
You're trolling.
I'm not playing anything.
Bro, it's trolling hardcore, bro.
I'm not playing anything.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, hold up. It's the TikTok stuff. Oh my God, hold up. Let me turn my fucking gifs off.
What's so funny is my wife didn't even know that and like walked out in a very scantily clad outfit and was like twerking around in the living room, trying to distract me because we all know she's a distractor in chief and a tyrant in chief. And so the funny thing is it tracked just to them being like, oh, TikTok stuff or whatever. So like that was a divinely inspired thing that happened. And back to the video.
Yeah, sorry, that was in the middle of a conversation. Let me turn that off.
You're good. Yeah.
TikTok added the stuff where they like have all these like sounds.
Yeah,
oh my God, it's actually unhinged.
Yeah, no, I got it. You're good, man. No worries.
One second. I was like, are you trolling me?
No.
My wife was trolling me. My wife was literally trolling me.
Doing that as a troll too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
only when I was on live.
If we both joined up in our bathtub, that kind of just be weird at that point. But
yeah, that would have been really weird.
Or if you both joined up on Grindr,
we are not intending for this debate.
Maybe where you met, who knows?
PG-13 at most type of debate, but hopefully we can just keep it G. We'll have to see.
Dr.
I gotta find where the gifts are on TikTok. I forgot to turn it off. Oh shit. Give me one sec. Sorry for the language. I actually forgot I'm on your platform.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We're grown-ups here. Definitely like try and keep it limited just so I don't get like striked or anything. But,
Struck would be the correct grammatical phrase, Mr. Catholic scholar of the worlds in grammar. Carry on.
Yeah, probably fine. I almost said stroked as the past tense of strike.
Diabolical, dude. That would have been clips. That would have been clips for sure.
Yeah.
Stricken would be the past tense. Struck would be the present tense. Stricken would be the past tense. Carry on.
That would have been pretty embarrassing. I definitely don't want that on the live stream. That's for.
It's already kind of embarrassing.
For sure.
That's for sure. Wait, hold up. Give me one second. I need to turn off the. I'm not actually like sure.
Don't get struck, Jason. Don't poke the bear, Jason.
Advanced settings. No.
You're right. Actually, hey, wrestling. You're right.
Sorry, I don't mean to
this is. You're right. This is dumb.
We can make the people wait a little bit.
You're right, Jason. You're right. I thought there might be some cool like sentences. There was some cool stuff there, but you're right. All right, so let's go back to Kia.
That would be the most efficient way.
All right,
cool. Of course, go ahead.
All right.
Start with the argument. Give us your argument.
All right. Hey, wrestling. Good place to start here, you think?
Yeah. This is where it starts.
All right, cool. Hey, I just thought like our Clipper and Artesian / MC in chief might have wanted some of that. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of material there. You know, you got.
There's a lot. Yeah, you can like milk the lolcow a little bit more. It's a big lolcow teat, as one might say. But let's get to the substance now. All right, let's go.
For why you think a God exists and like for your specific understanding of God, of course.
Yeah. So obviously for people who don't know, I'm a Thomist, so I'm going to be using St. Thomas's argumentation and his.
Are you really? Let's see.
Philosophy. It derives a lot of its thinking from Aristotelian metaphysics. And my claim is that we can conclude from natural reason that there's actually a necessity for the classical definition of God. So there's
Hey, wrestling. When you call bullshit, just say stop. I'll stop. Okay.
Yeah.
Four premises that I'm going to go to, and then there's three conclusions that come from those premises. So the first premise is that all contingent things require an efficient cause. So a contingent thing is just something that does not have to exist. So for example, like this pen does not have to exist, but rather it only exists because someone made it. If nobody made this pen, it wouldn't exist, and therefore it doesn't have to exist. So all of these contingent things do not exist of themselves, but rather they exist because something caused it to exist. Apples don't exist, or apples don't have to exist.
I know you didn't say stop, but I have a feeling in the back of my feels that you have issues with this.
Yeah, so contingent things, the way he's using contingent here is weird because it sounds like it. I mean, I know because I watched the video that he's going to go into Thomas Aquinas's second way, and Thomas doesn't use contingent in that argument at all.
Right. So, but when you say weird, you mean fucking wrong, if I might be so bold as to say.
Yeah. So the way that the Thomist understanding of contingent is just the whatever the object is that you're looking at does not have the reason for its existence in and of itself. So it gets its reason for its existence from like externally to itself. And so
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, but the whole thing is like the Thomistic view, if I'm, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Requires God as the primary source, right? There is an existence that exists before everything else, right?
yeah, that's correct.
Right. And so the pen exists. So just, and this is not the Thomistic argument, but if I was trying to make an argument, what he's trying to say that he's doing a very poor job of is saying God made man, man made the pen, therefore the pen exists because God exists, man makes pen, pen exists. That's what the follow through would be, right?
Uh
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm trying to steel man his argument. Maybe I won't have to do that. I'm trying to steel man his argument in an actual Thomistic point of view.
yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could kind of say that.
Well,
It's a little bit,
he gave like half of that. So I'm just trying to get like everybody who's listening who doesn't know as much about philosophy as you and I to try to be like as much as they can on his page, even though they shouldn't be. Does that make sense?
yeah. So right now, all that he's established is that contingent things, which are things that don't contain the reason for their own existence
Right.
within themselves, need an external cause to be.
And I think we can also establish that he's holding a pen.
I think we can establish that he's holding a pen.
Other than that, to be determined, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
They only exist because a tree made them. Computers do not have to exist. They only exist because a company manufactured it. And all of these contingent things require an efficient cause that gives them existence. Now, premise 2.
Make sure to say stop when you want to stop, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Is that nothing can be its own efficient cause. Nothing can cause itself to exist. I think we can all kind of agree on that because
Yeah,
I think
so
he meant sufficient, not efficient, right?
yeah, this is just
Go ahead.
cause A. And so it can't cause itself to exist because it doesn't exist already. Like this seems like pretty obvious, right?
Right. No, it does, right? And so he's already okay, Matt. What about penism? Yeah. Yeah, he actually he is doing tag. He's tag adjacent at this point. Yeah.
Not quite yet.
No, but that's why I said tag adjacent. But yeah, so okay, let's keep going. But no, I think the chat's actually keyed into what's going on here. We have the most intelligent chat on the internet, I think. Though it's small, they are very well informed. I will say that. All right,
yeah, but I do want to
Okay.
point something out before
Please,
we move
please.
on. I'm sorry.
No, you bet.
He's moved from
Oh, you cut out, brother.
Can you hear me? So
I can now. Yeah, go ahead.
He's moved from Aquinas's third way, which is the contingency argument, to
Right.
the second way, which
Right.
is the efficient cause argument.
Right.
So he's already shifted the argumentation. He's like,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be, the efficient cause has its own argument, and then contingency has its own argument. But he's creating an amalgamation.
He's conflated the two, and then but the way he used the word efficient in the sentence, he meant sufficient, but used efficient is trying to then plug Thomas's third argument into the efficiency argument, which in grammatical sense, he really meant sufficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is maybe he knows he's doing it, in which case he's 4D testing it, or derp. Here we go. Hey, Everest, say hey to Everest. Hey, Everest, how you doing, brother? Military veteran, friend of the show. How you doing, brother? All right. I think are we good for now?
Yeah, we're good to move on to the third.
All right.
premise, and then I think I have stuff to say.
Oh, you yeah, you're gonna.
Causality implies something being prior to another. So, for example, the pen can't cause itself to exist because before the pen existed, there was just no pen. So, how could something that doesn't exist cause itself to exist? It doesn't really make any sense. And yeah, so that's premise 2. Most people are good on that one.
Wait, premise 2?
Yeah, nothing can be its own efficient cause.
Okay, go ahead.
It's also kind of fucked up to say like, well, most people are good on this, so you better be good on this. Like that whole like chain of like making a very obscure like argument and then saying, well, most people are good on this, so you better be good on this. It's also kind of like, if you have a good argument, you shouldn't have to say that, right?
Yeah, you would think.
Like from a so and again, so this is kind of like from the so we're doing like the theological standpoint too, but also I'm doing the whole debate analysis standpoint. Like at the point in time where you have a good argument, you shouldn't have to say, so most people agree on this, right? Like it's poor form, I think. But that's my own criticism of the young gentleman.
Yeah. Premise 3 is that causes exist in series or sometimes called chain.
Okay, so go ahead and talk about this. These aren't 3 separate premises. These are 3 separate analyses of existence, right?
Yeah, can you let him finish?
Yeah,
sentence?
sorry. I'm sorry. I will. I'm sorry. I got so triggered I had to cut him off. Let me go back a little bit and we'll let him say it through, okay?
Efficient cause. Nothing can cause itself to exist. I think we can all kind of agree on that because causality implies something being prior to another. So, for example, the pen can't cause itself to exist because before the pen existed, there was just no pen. So how could something that doesn't exist cause itself to exist? It doesn't really make any sense. And yeah, so that's premise 2. Most people are good on that one.
Wait, premise 2?
Yeah, nothing can be its own efficient cause.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Premise 3 is that causes exist in series or sometimes called chains. So since all contingent things have efficient causes before them, even the causes themselves, if they are contingent, have prior causes. For example, a pen is caused by a manufacturer, but the manufacturing company was caused by the person who started the company. And the person who started the company was caused by his parents and so on and so on and so on. This is a chain of causality, and it can also be referred to just as a causal series. Now, premise 4 is that a causal sequence cannot regress to infinity. So this is the last premise. Causal sequences or these causal chains cannot go back forever because if they did,
let's stop it real quick.
You bet. Go ahead.
So in the original argument, this is kind of his premise 3 and his premise 4 are basically combined. And so my primary criticism of him here is that it's sounding like he's talking about temporal causes. So like in time, I grab a sword and then I swing it and then I hit a wood block or whatever and then the wood block moves. It's sounding like he's implying like a temporal causation here, where Aquinas doesn't necessarily mean that the causation is happening in time.
Right.
And the reason for that is because Aquinas actually doesn't want to deny an infinite past. He doesn't think that reason can get you to an infinite past. And so I think what you're going to see is this guy, like especially later on, but you can kind of see it now. He's implying temporality to Aquinas's argument, which,
right. What makes it? I mean, if the opponent accepts that makes the argument way easier because it's self-fulfilling at that point.
Yeah, and what he's done here though is like he started with the contingency argument and then he moved into the efficient cause argument, and now he's on the Kalam argument, which isn't even Aquinas at all.
Right. Yep.
And so, yeah.
Would you do the chat a favor and explain that argument then, just so everybody can know, because he never does.
The Kalam argument?
Yes.
Yeah, everything begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist, therefore the universe has a cause.
Right. So I think the problem here too, right, is like, and this because the argument you just laid out, the Kalam argument, has two premises and a conclusion, right?
Yeah.
And so, but he's saying that each of Aquinas's arguments are premises. Maybe he's just misspeaking, but he says premise 1 is contingency, premise 2 is sufficiency, premise 3 is collage, right? But those are 3 independent arguments Aquinas makes for the existence of God. So him making them his premises kind of gets off the base in the debate, I would say, because he keeps calling them his premises.
Yeah, and it's worse because the kalam isn't even an argument that Aquinas.
Oh, exactly, right. So he's, yeah. Premise 1 is Aquinas. Premise 2 is Aquinas. Premise 3 is Aquinas-ish. But the thing is, each of these premises are themselves logically entailed arguments that have 2 or 3 separate premises and a conclusion. So he's adopting Aquinas's conclusions as his premises and calling them Aquinas's premises. It just pissed me off from the beginning, and maybe that's me.
Yeah, and I wanted to like present Aquinas's actual second way, if that's all right.
Yeah, I think this is a great time for that. Please do.
Yeah, so Aquinas begins like by saying that everything that is in our senses, like everything that we see, touch, feel, hear, etc., are ordered in causal chains, right? So like we see a TV, and that TV was made by a manufacturer, and so on. So that would be
or more. I mean, to try to make it more basic, right? We see a blade of grass.
Yeah, the blade of grass grew from a seed.
Exactly, and we see it's green. And so I was trying to like the TV thing gets into other entailments. I don't know if to make it the most simple for people in the chat who don't know. I think the blade of grass might be better than the TV. But if you think the TV is best, you go ahead.
Yeah, however you want to do it, it's just an observation that everything that is in our sense data is in a causal chain, and that would be premise 1 of the original argument. And then premise 2 is that nothing causes itself, like we talked about earlier. It would have to exist to cause itself, so it would have to exist prior to existing. So
neither the blade of grass nor the TV made itself.
That's right.
Cool. Yeah. No, so next, keep going. Sorry, I'm just trying to clarify for people in the chat who don't understand.
So premise 3 is this. It's kind of like it's saying that, okay, so the best way I can explain this is let's say I'm holding a stick in my hand and I push a rock with it. If you focus in on the stick and the rock, you don't get a full causal account of how the rock moved, right? Because then you're missing the hand, and the stick didn't have causal power, and the rock didn't have causal power, so you're missing causal power from the chain, and then you added a hand, and that kind of solves it. But you can kind of extrapolate this out, because from the hand, the hand doesn't actually have causal power by itself. It relies on,
the human who moved it, right?
The human, and then the human had to be created, so it relied on that. And what Thomas is observing here is that nothing seems to have causal power. It always seems to borrow it from the last member of the series. And
the last member is the divine creation, right?
Yeah, so that's the conclusion. So the premise 3 is just saying that we have to, we don't see anything with causal power intrinsically in these causal chains, but we know that they have causal power. So this creates a contradiction. We know that they have causal power, but nothing has causal power in itself. And so we have the solution to this is to say that there is something that has causal power intrinsically that wasn't caused, because if it was caused, then it would get causal power from the thing before it.
So we can observe consequences of causal power, like so I'm saying I'm walking down the road, and instead of some weird Beavis and Butthead, are like shooting slingshots at rocks on the road, right? I'm walking on the road. I see the rock move, right? That doesn't mean the rock moved itself. That means that there was a causal power, i.e. Beavis and Butthead shooting a slingshot at the rock that made it move. But we have to actually go back further than that and say, who made Beavis and Butthead? Who made the slingshot? So maybe Acme Corp made the slingshot. Fine. Then we have to go back to the fundamental premise of who made the people who made Acme Corp and who made Beavis and Butthead. And we go back again and again and again, and we end up to the divine creator at the beginning of everything, right?
Yeah. It doesn't. I wouldn't put it exactly like that. How I would put it is,
I was trying to. I was artfully phrase it better than I can. I'm sorry.
how I would put it is that if nothing, an infinite chain of things that don't possess causal power in and of itself, doesn't solve the problem of there being causal power, but nothing possessing it. And so you need to posit something that has causal power that didn't borrow it from something else.
So can we posit that an infinite chain of power which is non-causal cannot by definition exist?
An infinite chain of, I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Of power which is not causal can by definition not exist. I'm trying to negate the opposite. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Okay, so if we're saying there's an infinite chain of causality, right? But at any point in the chain, there is some link that is not causal. At that point in time, that argument ceases to exist. Like the infinite chain of causality has to be causal at every step. So if there is an accident or if there is non-causality at any point, then that argument ceases to function.
Yeah. And so like the reason that the reason that it's a problem, again, is that you have this contradiction, which is that things do cause things, but no member of the chain has causal power in and of itself. It borrows it from the last member. And so this is kind of like, the way I like to put it is, it's kind of like, say you have $5 and you got it from someone who borrowed $5.
God, I wish I had $5, but okay.
They got it from someone who borrowed $5, and then they got it from someone who borrowed $5, and so on, right? And then we say, but actually none of them have $5. Right? Because this is kind of the same thing with the causal power, because none of the members of the chain have causal power because they didn't get it from an original source, but all of the members have causal power. And to solve that contradiction, you have to posit a first cause,
or an unmoved mover, or a first cause.
The
so the bank who gave the guy $5 in credit didn't actually have the $5, but that's like I guess in the analogy, and correct me if I'm wrong, like the bank who gave the first person in the 20-person chain of lending $5 is kind of the unmoved mover in that sense, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's where the $5 would come from.
Even if it was a fictionary $5.
Yeah. And so that's the argument he's going for. Because I know this because I watched it, and later on he says that he's trying to do Aquinas' second way.
Which makes me hit my head into the wall. Yeah, but yes. All right, so let's go forward. I need to use the little boys' room, so I'm going to play until I get back. So probably like 3 minutes or so. And then we'll go. After that, I'll stop it and see if you have anything to say in the meantime, okay? Okay, buddy? Wrestling, you okay?
Yes.
If you said no, I wasn't. We operate by consent here. So if you said no, I wasn't going to do it.
Sounds good, man. I didn't know I was muted.
No, you're fine. You're good. All right. Talk to you in a few minutes.
The sequence would never begin to exist in the first place. This is something that a lot of people are pretty good on because it's pretty obvious. There's two analogies that can kind of help you understand this a little better, though. The first analogy is this. Imagine if you have like a train pulling a bunch of box cars, okay? And the train, it could never move in the first place if there wasn't an engine pulling the train in the first place, right? So in the same way, causal sequences can never begin unless there is something that causes it to begin, a first cause, if you will. The second analogy is pretty similar, but it uses a chandelier. If a chandelier is held up by a chain, right? If the chain just goes on forever to infinity and it never connects to a ceiling, then the chandelier would simply just fall to the ground and nothing would be holding it up, right? Because it doesn't connect to anything. It's not grounded in anything. However, if there is a ceiling, the chain will be grounded in something and be able to be held up above the ground. So in a similar way, causal sequences can never like go back to infinity. They have to have a definitive beginning. So like the ceiling would be the definitive beginning, and then the causal chain would be the chain of the chandelier. So there's 3 conclusions that can come from this. The first conclusion is that since causal series cannot regress to infinity, there must be a first uncaused cause. So if every causal series requires a beginning, there must be a first cause that is at the beginning. And this first cause must be uncaused, because if it had a cause, then it would no longer be at the beginning of the chain. It would just be another chain within the chain. The second conclusion is that the uncaused cause is not contingent. And this is from the previous premises. As we stated before, the uncaused cause has no cause before it, which means that it exists according to its own nature. So there is no reality in which the first cause does not exist. In other words, the first cause exists as a necessary being. The third conclusion is that since the uncaused cause is a necessary being, it is also 100% act and 0% potency. If you don't know what act and potency are, potency is a real capacity that something has to become a way other than it is. So for example, the Communist Manifesto, which I have, it has the passive potency to burn, but it's not currently burning. So it has the capacity to burn, but it's not burning. That is potency. Now, act or actuality is the fulfillment of that potency. So for example, if I hold a lighter to the bottom of the Communist Manifesto and I burn it, that would be an actualization of the potency that it had to burn. Okay, so there's a capacity to burn, that is the potency, and then causing it to burn would be actualization. That would be the act. Now, the uncaused cause must be pure act, because if it had any potency, there would have to be something prior to it that would determine its potency. And this would violate the fact that our uncaused cause is uncaused. It just wouldn't make any sense. It would be a continuous loop of nonsense. And I actually lied, there's 4 conclusions. I forgot about one. It's the most important one, that this first cause is the classical definition of God. Since the first cause has no potency and it has no capacity to change, that means that it can never gain or lose knowledge, power, love, or perfection. Pure act cannot lack any perfection that belongs to being, because potency is the lack of perfection that could be potentially possessed. Therefore, all perfection of being is found in its fullest sense in the first cause. This first cause must have unlimited knowledge, ultimate power, unlimited justice. And this being is the first cause of the universe. It's the beginning of the causal chain and has all perfection of knowledge, power, and justice. And that is what classical theism defines as God. So that's kind of how you can prove using natural reason that a God exists. And Parker, I'm interested to hear what your refutation of that would be.
Yeah, so there's a few things I could point to specifically here with this argument. One is that I could dispute the idea that there can't be like an infinite causal chain, like an infinite sequence. I guess I could ask the question, do you believe in infinities in math?
Say it again?
Infinite numbers? Do you believe there can be infinite numbers?
I believe that infinite numbers can exist conceptually, but I don't think in an infinite causal regress that can exist because of the analogies that I presented. If something is receiving its being from something else, there has to be a first cause of the being itself.
Okay, so I think that you're saying it can exist in numbers, but not in a causal chain. What's the relevant difference of it being able to exist within the numbers? But
Can we pause this? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I can go back to. I'm sorry. My kiddos asked me a question. I was trying to answer them, so I got distracted for longer than I intended. I'm sorry.
You're good. I need to go back to where he starts listing the conclusions, because
that was like a hard, yeah. Chapingro awakens. Hey, Dark Side, how much do we have enough to make a song yet? Because as soon as you can make a song, we'll break for the song. Okay. Okay. I think that's fair. All right.
Just pause it at each conclusion.
Okay, cool. So do I go further back, or I think we're good, right?
I'm not sure.
Well, we'll see. Tell me if I'm wrong. We'll go back again. The importance here is accuracy, not lulls.
Belongs to being, because potency is the lack of perfection.
Now we can go back further, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's try.
Now,
nope. Pass the Communist Manifesto. We'll start.
Be another chain within the chain. The second conclusion is that
one more back, huh?
Analogies that can kind of help you understand this a little better, though.
This is so fucking pretentious, the way he's framing everything. Oh, let me give you some more conclusions that can help you understand. And I really do respect the atheist here by not like spurging out like Emmett did with me in the debate and just going crazy and being like, well, what about that? Like, this dude on the right-hand side is being like so gracious to this supposedly Catholic guy who's doing supposedly a Thomasist argument, because this guy is being a dick, in my humble opinion. This guy's being a dick right now. Okay, but to the logical argument.
First analogy is this. Imagine if you have like a train pulling a bunch of box cars, okay? And the train, it could never move in the first place if there wasn't an engine pulling the train in the first place, right? So in the same way, causal sequences can never begin unless there is something that causes it to begin, a first cause, if you will.
Okay, I think it's the first one, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with this. This is the one I gave you. It just doesn't follow from the premises.
Right,
he
right.
gave.
I mean, yeah, we can grant this because this is like duh, of course, right?
Yeah, the only thing is it doesn't follow. I don't think it follows from the premises that he gave.
Well, the boxcar is a fucking stupid analogy. Like that's dumb.
Yeah, because he gave a contingency premise and then an efficient cause premise,
Right.
and then
He combined
then
them
a
together.
Kalam.
Yeah.
And then a Kalam premise, and now he wants an efficient cause conclusion, and I don't think it follows. But I know what he's trying to do.
But so we can so let's try to steel man's argument, okay? Let's say fuck the boxcars. The boxcars are gone. Like the existence of the world, let's say, like Earth existence, right? Like it has to exist, so therefore there has to be a cause, right? The condensation of matter has to have something that condensed it, right? So that's way better than because the whole thing is he fucking buys his own freaking critique on the box because man made the box cars, which is what he's going to do later on, which is like, why would you use a contingent and efficient argument, an argument that is both reliant on the contingency argument and the efficiency argument to make your freaking claim? Like this is just like bad form.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
but so
yeah, dark side. So let's just assume dark side. Yeah, absolutely, very good dark side. And Chapingro is always funny, funny. So, but the point being here is okay. So let's right now let's forget that he never said anything about boxcars. Let's make the best argument, not the argument, but the best hypothetical for him together. Let's do this and pretend he never said that and pretend we said that instead.
Yeah, what he's trying to do is the efficient cause argument where the conclusion is the first mover. That is his intention.
So does my like the existence of the earth being created by God that functions well enough for you?
Yeah. Again, it's just it's a solution to a problem that no member of the chain has causal power and causes happen.
Which is really stupid then to make like a manufacturing analogy, because you already admitted part of your fucking dumb pen argument was that's manufactured. So why you use the manufacturing analogy to try to prove the unmoved mover? It's just very bad form, in my opinion.
Yeah, but go to the second conclusion because he
all right. So everybody in the chat, if we're trying to follow, forget the box cars and imagine Earth exists and God made the Earth, and instead of the box cars. Fair? Fair. That's fair to the Thomas argument, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, now we can go on. I was just making sure. I didn't want to ever bad faith you, brother. All right, let's go.
The second analogy is pretty similar, but it uses a chandelier. If a chandelier is held up by a chain, right? If the chain just goes on forever to infinity and it never connects to a ceiling, then the chandelier would simply just fall to the ground and nothing would be holding it up, right? Because it doesn't connect to anything.
So
it's not grounded in
dumb.
anything. However, if there is a ceiling, the chain will be grounded in something and be able to be held up above the ground. So in a similar
This is just so dumb. Wait till you can tell me to stop whenever, but this is the dumbest argument I've heard about this ever.
The idea with the chandelier is that you know that there is a chandelier hanging on this like from somewhere, and so there must be a ceiling, even though you can't see the ceiling, right?
Sure.
And it's the same thing. Like we see causes happen, so there must be something that has causal power, even though nothing has causal power that we can see. And so that's the idea behind the chandelier.
Right, but he just phrased it really retardedly, right?
Yeah, it didn't.
Okay.
It didn't make a whole lot of sense, but
all right. I was making. I get the whole like, if okay, so we can say like okay, so there. Okay, well, let's make it even more like principle. Okay, so I have a pen. I don't care who manufactures it. It's my argument. I drop it. It falls. There is a causal force of gravity that pulls my pen to the ground. If I jump off the roof, I will fall too, right? Like I cannot see gravity. We don't have to call it gravity. We can call it falling force. We can name it Turds Day, whatever we want to call it, right? Is I drop the pen, it falls. I jump off the roof, I fall, right? Thanks, Darkside. I appreciate you. I hope you're clipping this. Hey, maybe we can get some some me and wrestling rifting in on the like maybe make wrestling Lil Jon and I can be Lil Wayne on the new remix. But anyways, the point being is like the chandelier argument doesn't have to be chandelier. It's we do not know why this force exists, right? Or why this thing exists, but because it does exist, we go ahead and we infer it does causally, right? So gravity. What is there any reason why gravity would not fall into the Thomas argument on this point?
It would be a similar demonstration.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So sorry. So let me. You're right. So if we assume for the sake of argument that gravity exists, then gravity would fall into the same argument.
Yeah, like the way it's similar is that, like you said, like we don't see gravity, but we see the effects of gravity, and it's the same thing. Like we see causes happen, but we don't see anything with causal power. So we can infer that there's something that's doing that. There's something that's giving the things causal
Well, and
power.
for the sake of he's assuming a roof so high that nobody can see where the chandelier attaches to the roof. So it seems like quasi-gravitational in that sense.
Yeah, but you know something is holding up the roof, or
and something is holding us down to the earth at the same time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think he could have made a much. And I'm just going to be honest, like this guy seems so self-assured and full of himself that I don't think he even evaluates his own arguments for like validity. And maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But so far,
I promise it gets even worse. All right.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm speaking. Spoiler alert! Fuck this guy. All right. Well, without further ado,
causal sequences can never go back to infinity. They have to have a definitive beginning. So the ceiling would be the definitive beginning, and then the causal chain would be the chain of the chandelier. So there's three conclusions that can come from this. The first conclusion is that since causal series cannot regress to infinity, there must be a first uncaused cause. So if every causal series requires a beginning, there must be a first cause that is at the beginning. And this first cause must be uncaused, because if it had a cause, then it would no longer be at the beginning of the chain. It would just be another chain within the chain. The second conclusion is that the uncaused cause is not contingent. And this is from the previous premises. As we stated before, the uncaused cause has no cause before it, which means that it exists according to its own nature. So there is no reality in which the first cause does not exist. In other words, the first cause exists as a necessary being. The third conclusion is that since the uncaused cause is a necessary being, it is also 100% act and 0% potency.
I can't hear you.
If you don't know what act and potency are, potency is a real capacity that something has to become a way other than it is. So, for example, the Communist Manifesto, which I have, it has the passive potency to burn.
Sorry, you said stop or not?
Yeah. I wanted to comment on these. So
I'm sorry. I can go back. My wife was yapping at me, and so I missed it. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I remember them. So
all right. So it was a good stop time.
He makes two conclusions, or he makes three conclusions. So he makes the
what do you want for Christmas, little girl? Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He makes the uncaused cause conclusion, which we know he was trying to, and then he makes the contingency conclusion. So remember, we only have contingency in the first premise,
right?
And then we have contingency again.
Actually, do me a favor and break down.
Currently burning.
Oh no, sorry. Do me a favor and break down in very simple terms, so that because I think our smiley buddy on the left here is trying to obscure everything. So I know what you mean, but make sure that everybody who watches this in the future can understand, what is the first, break it down again.
Yeah, so he comes to this, he comes to three conclusions, he says. Yep. The first is the uncaused cause. We've been talking about that one. That's the one he wanted to come to. The second is the necessary being, which is a being that contains the reason for its own existence, but this doesn't actually follow from the argument, because he only has contingency in his first
Right.
premise, and then he doesn't have necessity at all in his argument, and then he gets necessity out of the argument. You have to put the necessity into the argument somewhere to get the necessity out of the argument. And then the third one is okay. Do you remember him saying act or potency at all?
Not yet.
No, he hasn't said it at all in the
And
premises of the
but
argument.
those will be his two most favorite words coming up.
He hasn't said it a single time in any of the premises of the argument, and then he's getting it out of the conclusion. So he's doing now he's getting the conclusion of Aquinas's first way, and he didn't even make the argumentation at all for Aquinas's first way. He like
And so my understanding, and maybe you can correct me. Yeah, my wife looks very good right now. I'm not going to show you because we're not an OnlyFans channel. My wife looks very good right now, and she's distracting me. Son of a bitch. Anyways, so the point being is that I love you, but you need to go away because I can't live stream while I'm looking at that. Love is the point being is that so like none of Aquinas' three ways are contingent on the other ways. They are all three independent ways to find God, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So, but the way that this guy keeps working on this is that they're somehow all contingent. So if you agree with one, then two, then three. And he keeps like shoehorning in extra. Like this guy doesn't know Aquinas' philosophy at all. These are three. So the whole point is if the debate is, does God exist? Which was the premise. That was the topic. If you can freaking get them to agree with premise one, or not premise one, with cause one or argument one, we'll call it, because it's not a premise or a conclusion. It's argument one. Like Aquinas' first way, we'll call it, right?
Yeah.
Then you win. If you disagree with that and agree with Aquinas' second way, I'm not flipping it off. It's the second way. Then you win. Aquinas' third way, if you fuck off 1 and 2 and get 3, you win. These are three separate ways, three separate independent proofs of the existence of God. And this guy is treating them as they're all premises for some teleological argument. It's so dumb, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it's worse than that because he didn't even argue for one of the conclusions. Like there was, like I said, like
no, he's borrowing premises from each of them to make some fucking unholy Frankenstein conclusion. That's how I view it.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. But like in the case of the act and potency conclusion, he didn't argue for it at all. Like there's nothing in his.
He just starts saying act and potency in like 5 minutes now. He was like, oh, act and potency. And our poor guy, I mean, even though I disagree, I think on theology with our little dude here on the right-hand side, my little buddy over here, like I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I had trouble keeping track of this argument. Like I was walking through the first.
So let's keep going, and we'll see if it makes sense. And no, this was a great aside. So let's keep going. Yeah,
the capacity to burn, but it's not burning. That is potency. Now, act or actual.
That's not actually potency. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Actuality is the fulfillment of that potency. So, for example, if I hold a lighter to the bottom of the Communist Manifesto and I burn it, that would be an actualization of the potency that it had to burn. Okay, so there's a capacity.
You want to comment on that by how absurd that is, or we let it pass?
It just wasn't argued for. It's just like he's just getting a conclusion. He's just asserting a conclusion. He's like,
so that it has the potency to burn. Well, it has other potencies too, right? Like potency is not contained to one domain, right?
Yeah, there's potentially an infinite number of potencies.
Right. Like let's say I have a goat, right? Say I own a goat. His name is Billy. And the goat eats paper, like most goats do. Like the potency of the Communist Manifesto is not merely to burn, it's to feed a goat. And that goat might give me meat. So now we have a causality argument too, that you're just eschewing because you're holding a lighter to it like you're fucking doing a magic trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at any point in time, if I make a bad argument, tell me no and stop. If you agree, I just want to make you are like my like check on reality right now, brother. All right, let's fucking go.
To burn, that is the potency, and then causing it to burn would be actualization. That would be the act. Now, the uncaused cause must be pure act, because if it had any potency, there would have to be something prior.
The uncaused cause must be pure act. I have theological disputes and logical disputes with that. Do you have either or both?
The only dispute I have with it is that he didn't argue for it at all. It's just kind of coming out as a conclusion. Like
Right.
there is a potency in act
Sure.
argument,
Yeah.
and they just wasn't presented. But I do agree that God is pure actuality.
Sure.
But I can understand if you disagree, because this would lead to like divine simplicity, and not everyone accepts divine simplicity.
That's fine. I'm not arguing. So let me give you my argument first, okay? Is that and we can watch not at this point, but later on, right? The way he progresses the argument, he conflates act with will. And so when I'm talking about my God, my Catholic, my theological God, right? As opposed to Allah, who I don't think is the same God, and Allah is pure will. I think that our brother here conflates act and will so much that he I'm not saying he's arguing for Islam. I'm saying that at the point in time, by the end of the debate, the way he conflates act and will would be indiscernible from Islam.
Yeah, act isn't will. Act is like like being.
Exactly. Act is racing. Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying, like, people can watch and see. But I'm saying is like I was fine with the statement when he said it, but as I watched to the end of the debate, like he conflates act and will so much, even in the next minute and a half or so, that he's arguing a same point that any Muslim or Islamist would agree with. So I think I think there's a problem. You've already identified the key problem, but I think I just have umbrage because I'm not an Islamic scholar. My duty in the Marine Corps, I had to do a lot of Islamic study and understand what they believe. And so Allah is pure will. That's what Islam means. It's an act of submission to the will. And so the fact that I think he conflates act with will, just maybe it's a me thing. Maybe I'm just triggered. But the fact that like act and will can get conflated is an argument, like rubs me the wrong way. And maybe it's a me thing, but we'll see. Okay.
Yeah,
it that would determine its potency, and this would violate the fact that our uncaused cause is uncaused. It just wouldn't make any sense. It would be a continuous loop of nonsense. And I actually lied. There's 4 conclusions. I forgot about one. It's the most important one. That this first cause is the classical definition of God.
So here's something that's just not. It's not argued for. Like it's just asserted.
Yeah.
Like.
And he says yep. And he says yep. You agree? Yep. It's agreed. So you read yep.
Yeah. Because normally, like, there's 2 stages to something like a contingency argument, where you'll get to something like a first cause, and then you'll start to describe what that cause has to be like, and then you'll arrive at the idea of God.
Right.
But yeah, he's just kind of asserting it here.
But he's not. I hate the word bullying, but it's not bullying. It's like over. He's like, you agree? Yep. And this guy's over here playing fucking Pokemon and doesn't even care what's going on, right? He's like, yeah, sure, whatever, bro.
Yeah. And then he does say something right after this that I wanted to comment.
No, absolutely. I'll play it and then stop it. You bet.
The first cause has no potency and it has no capacity to change. That means that it can never gain or lose knowledge, power, love, or perfection.
Is that what you wanted? Or a little more?
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Pure act can cannot lack any perfection that belongs to being, because potency is the lack of perfection that could be potentially possessed. Therefore,
that makes no sense. Go ahead.
Okay, so Thomas has the reason this doesn't make any sense is because he's not arguing for it again. He's just asserting it. So Thomas has this idea. It's called the convertibility of being and goodness. And
Yep,
so, what that means is that if, as insofar as something is fuller in being, it is fuller in goodness. And
Yes.
so, like, um, and so what he's saying here is that because God is pure being, which he hasn't argued for, he's pure goodness.
Right.
And he has
So he's assuming all the omnis without having his opponent assume all the omnis, which is stupid because his opponent is an atheist or agnosticist.
yeah, he hasn't argued for the convertibility of being and goodness. He's just kind of
Right.
asserted it. And then he
And-
also
Yep. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
he also got to the only conclusion that he actually somewhat argued for was a first mover conclusion.
Yeah.
And the first mover conclusion doesn't get you to pure being. And
It
so
doesn't.
like and it's so
I mean,
that
even Derrida, right? Even Derrida's argument about the deconstructionism of language relies on an unmoved mover argument. So even Derrida, the most leftist of deconstructionists, relies on the same argument. So like that, like basically everybody who exists and knows anything about philosophy agrees upon the basis of an unmoved mover argument. So you won that and you win nothing.
Aristotle famously argued for an uncaused cause or a primary mover.
Absolutely.
But his conception of it was not anything like the classical conception of theism. So you have to get there and then continue to argue for the classical conception of theism.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, but he's just assuming that as a basic truth.
Yeah.
And our buddy on the right here is playing Pokemon and trying to catch a fucking Squirtle or whatever, and apparently is so uninterested with the debate, he doesn't even want to engage, which is sad for everyone. All right.
For all perfection of being is found in its fullest sense in the first cause. This first cause must have unlimited knowledge, ultimate power, unlimited justice. And this being is the first cause of the universe. It's the beginning of the causal chain.
Nobody ever said
and has
that.
all perfection of knowledge, power, and justice. And that is what
more
classical
things
theism
that are
defines
unarguable.
as God. So that's kind of how you can prove using natural reason that a God exists.
Just attribute more things they never said while he's trying to fucking throw the curveball to catch the Bulbasaur. And here we go.
And Parker, I'm interested to hear what your refutation of that would be.
Yeah, so there's a few.
Are you actually interested? Wait. Are you drinking out of the communion chalice, my brother? Did you buy on Etsy a communion? I've been to Catholic church a million times, not a million actually, but like that looks like the communion chalice. Did you go on Etsy and be like, hey, Etherin in Chicago, can you etch me a communion chalice? I'm screen capping this. This is problematic to me. I have great offense.
Are you Catholic?
Yeah.
You don't have to answer that. Okay. Yeah,
No, I did. I mean, I was raised Catholic.
Gotcha.
So I was raised. So no, my mom was I was homeschooled Catholic. So I know. That's the thing. This is what pissed me off about this guy. Like I may or may not be Catholic right now, but like I know Catholicism better than like every person I've ever met. And like these people, like I'm just like cinder block the head. That is a communion chalice. That better be. It's not wine. Are you drinking water out of a communion chalice, good sir? Sacrilege. Hopefully our queen over here, Dark Side, can clip this and add that into the T-Pain remix we're gonna do. But like, what the actual fuck is going on here? Like, I'm not okay with it. Oh, what would compel somebody to have somebody on Etsy make them a glass that looks like a communion chalice? Unless you're LARPing as a Catholic. Anyways, we'll as soon as I can find my tab, we'll keep going. Gross. Keep going.
Things I could point to specifically here with this argument. One is that I
Oh, and went down a little bit. Went down the wrong pipe, didn't it? Karma's a bitch, huh?
could dispute the idea that there can't be like an infinite causal chain, like an infinite sequence. I guess I could ask the question: do you believe in infinities in math?
Say it again.
Infinite numbers? Do you believe there can be infinite numbers?
I believe that infinite numbers can exist conceptually,
Sorry, I choked on my juice a little bit. Okay, we'll go back.
but I don't think in an infinite causal regress they can exist because of the analogies that I presented. If something is receiving its being from something else, there has to be a first cause of the being itself.
Can you pause it?
Okay, so I think that you're saying it can exist in numbers, but not in a causal chain. What's the relevant
Can you
difference
pause it?
of it being able to exist?
Yeah.
within
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what confirmed for me that he is importing the kalam into
Yep.
Thomas Aquinas.
So we have some new people in the chat who actually I know are very good arguers. So can you explain it to them and then make it apply?
Yeah, so he's trying to argue for Aquinas's second way, which is a first cause, and in doing so, he imported Aquinas's third way, second way, and the Kalam cosmological argument.
Yep.
And here we have a confirmation that he was arguing for the Kalam, and the reason is because Aquinas never denies infinite causal sequences.
Right.
Aquinas denies that you can have infinite causal sequences that don't have causation in themselves, and so like you could theoretically imagine like God creates an infinite causal sequence and gives them all causal power.
But God is the cause, right? Like you can't say there is some ex nihilo infinite causal sequence. Like the infinite cause has to be God at the bare minimum, right?
Yeah, they have to you have to get the cause from somewhere else, but it can be an infinite chain of items as long as they get their causal power from God or from the first cause,
or even to be more generous, from something.
Yeah,
exactly. But the only answer that anybody can posit is God. Because I'm open to other alternatives, but nobody can give it to them other than it always has been that way. So it's always been that way. So it always is that way. So again, but again, that negates the cause.
Yeah, exactly. And so you don't have to deny, like I said, infinite causal sequences to accept Aquinas' second way. And Aquinas never denies infinite causal sequences because he is open to the universe being infinite.
Right. But our buddy here on the left is buddy, and I use that term loosely, is hiding the ball and conflating. It seems to me what he's trying to do, he's trying to like take some of Aquinas' premises as true, or some of Aquinas' conclusions as true, and use them as premises for his future arguments. Like just because Aquinas said it, it's true. That seems to me what's going on. I mean, I might be wrong, but that seems what's happening.
Yeah, he's definitely imported conclusions that he hasn't argued for.
All right, cool. All right, we'll keep going. This has been great, man. Let's keep going. Let's fucking go.
With the numbers, but not a specific causal chain.
Yeah, so numbers are not necessarily contingent in their being upon the thing that came before it. So for example, I can have -3 as a concept in my mind without necessarily having -2. Now,
and that proves what for your argument, by the way?
we can kind of show that this is something that's necessary there.
Can we kind of show it, or can we show it? Can we actually demonstrate it with an example? Let's go. I don't think we're gonna get there.
Have you ever heard of the paper passer analogy?
My God. So we're just going to do a rote analogy. Oh my God. I think you've seen this. This is the most retarded thing in the entire debate, in my opinion. The paper passer analogy. We'll play out. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But before we do, like, you're disagreeing that infinite is not contradictory, right?
Infinite regresses are. I think you're failing to recognize the distinction between an infinite regress from causality versus just infinite numbers existing conceptually.
Okay, well, the understanding is that if an infinity can exist, at least an infinity in a context of a sequence of numbers, again, I need to be very clear on why that infinite sequence cannot exist within a causal chain. It seems like the only contradiction that you could probably provide is the infinite sequence plus a specific individualized circumstance, right?
Okay,
Like
yeah,
providing an individualized circumstance rather than like the infinite sequence in of itself being contradictory.
Yeah, so I'm trying to help you explain the distinction between a conceptual infinite chain versus a causal infinite chain, because there is a contradiction within causality, because we're saying that there is causality, and saying that causality originated from no beginning cause is false.
This is such bad faith. Like, he's like Rick rolling this guy to agree to 3 of his premises that the guy's never agreed to, right?
Yeah, the guy is asking about infinite chains and whether they're contradictory, and then
he's saying, well, since you already agreed to this, since you already agreed to that, since you already agreed to that, well, at that point in time, you're already done because you already agreed to 3 premises. You don't agree with the first one.
Yeah, I think, let's continue to watch it.
Go ahead.
Falsely logical. It's illogical. So I'll give you the analogy that I was just referencing before. It's from Robert Kuhn. It's called the paper pattern.
So, appeal to authority. Robert Kuhn has problems with him. We can go to that in a later stream. Yada, yada. Keep going.
Analogy. Imagine that you have like a bunch of people in a line, right? And there's 2 things that could happen. You can receive a blank piece of paper or a piece of paper with somebody's name written on it. And if you receive a blank piece of paper, then you take it and you write your name on it. And
Logically speaking, the fact that you can receive 2 alternate pieces already makes the premise invalid or unsound logically, right?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Robert Kuhn's paper passer analogy.
I'm not either, but let's take this as a logic problem in philosophy class, okay? So if I give you a blank piece of paper, if I give everybody a blank piece of paper, okay, and then people can either write something or not write something on it, right? Okay.
Yeah, I think
I don't, as the professor, I'm not giving any instruction. I'm saying, here's your piece of paper. I wait 5 minutes, pass it to the next person, right? People may or may not write something. There's no logical entailment that follows from that.
Oh, well, I think he's stipulating that if someone already hasn't written something, then the person has to write something.
All right. Well, okay. You might be right. I might be overdoing it. Let's go back a little bit and let's see. Okay.
no beginning cause is falsely logical. It's illogical. So I'll give you the analogy that I was just referencing before. It's from Robert Kuhn. It's called the paper passer analogy. Imagine that you have like a bunch of people in a line, right? And there's 2 things that could happen. You can receive a blank piece of paper or a piece of paper with somebody's name written on it. And if you receive a blank piece of paper, then you take it and you write your name on it.
Okay, so he's assuming that anybody who gets a blank piece of paper has to write something on it. He didn't phrase that right.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, cool. I mean, I'm with it on that, but like, it's so tough to deal with like logical arguments when people are phrasing it all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so in good faith, we'll say that to construct so if anybody wants to use it in the future, right? If we're doing the paper passer analogy, which I don't suggest anybody ever does, or you probably get charged with child sex predation, wink, wink, is if you get a piece of paper that doesn't have a name on it, you have to write a name on it. Like, that's the premise we're at. And here we go. That should have been said from the beginning, but here we go.
To the next person. Now, let's say you're somewhere in that line. It's absolutely impossible for you to ever be passed a piece of paper that is blank, because you're being passed it by somebody who just had the same situation where they could write their name on the piece of paper. And if you keep going back and back forever, there's actually
they wrote the sixth kid in the row. Rose writes, Bishop Martez essayed me. Throws a paper airplane and throws it toward Jesus' statue. And they're like, time out for you, kid.
I don't understand why this paper passer analogy is necessary. Like,
I don't understand why it works. Like, there are so many simpler that was my initial argument. So I'm like, I don't even understand what's going on here.
Yeah, I get what he's doing. He's saying that it's impossible for you to get a blank piece of paper if you're in the line.
Yeah,
so somebody
but this seems like I mean, as far as and correct me if I'm wrong, this seems like a much more of an excuse for like papal succession and the fact that like some popes were fucked up and and fucked their own daughters and had wives and whatever. Like this seems like a much more of an argument for like papal succession than what he's talking about. I think he might have imported that too.
I have no idea what this is supposed to argue for. I
Me
don't.
either.
Yeah,
Well,
I know that. Like the contradiction. He already said it. The contradiction is that you have cause. You have
Yeah.
things that have causal power.
But
they don't.
But the cause here is you're given the best case. The steel man of his argument is like you're in the line and now you have a blank piece of paper. What are you to do with it? What ought you do with it?
Yeah, you would have to write your name on it in his.
But exactly, like who would you exactly? There is no actual cause to do a specific action.
Yeah.
Like
But
I think the blank paper analogy is an argument. I'll look it up later on, but like is an argument against. So okay, we in Catholicism, right? Like the Borgio popes, right? They fucked their daughters. They had wives. They violated all the rules, right? So then people after that say, well, how can the See of Rome be the actual See of Peter because all these popes did stupid shit, right?
Mhm.
This argument he's making is an argument to like allow Catholics to like reunite themselves with the See of Peter, even though the popes previous did bad shit. Like that's what this argument is meant to be. I think he's just leveraging every Catholic argument he's ever read and seeing what sticks. That's my assumption at this point.
I don't know.
But would you agree with me that this argument works way better as an argument against the fallacies in papal succession, given the foibles of previous popes, than it does for whatever we're talking about right now?
I'm going to be honest. I don't know enough about papal succession.
Okay. Well, let me walk you through it. I'm not trying. I'm trying to be good faith. I'm always good faith. I'll walk through everything. Okay. So like Catholics, Roman Catholics believe that like here is Peter. He's the stone, and upon Peter I found my church. Right in Acts, or maybe it's in one of the Gospels. I'm sorry. I'm a Catholic, so I don't quote scripture just right. I apologize. But basically, like Peter is the first pope. Catholics say, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Catholics say there's a direct apostolic succession from Peter to every pope that's ever existed, right? Grant me that's what Catholics say, okay? And so the whole point is there were the Borgio popes, Spanish popes that came in the 14th century, 14th century, 1300s, that were screwing their own daughters, had inbred children, and had multiple wives, like 3, 4, 5 popes in a row, and the Borgio popes, right? And so the Catholics, the right-thinking Catholics have a problem. That's like, okay, well, if the Pope is in line with Peter and there is papal infallibility, then how does that make sense that like the popes were fucking their own daughters? And the Catholic answer is because popes are fallible humans. However, when it goes to a matter of speaking ex cathedra, like about a matter of doctrine, like saying what a doctrine is, popes are infallible in that. And none of those Borgia popes said anything about any doctrine. They were just diddling their daughters and whatever they were doing. So we get to skip over that and go to the next popes. And so I think this argument much more fills that gap, saying like how what's not true? What's a Borgia pope, child? Just say the word Borgia. Borgia? Say Borgia. Say it louder. Say it prouder. Okay. That's my phone. She stole my phone. Anyways. Yeah, there is a TV. There are two actually. So Blue Crigitator. So yeah, I would recommend the one that's by Studio Canal. which is the actual version. There's one that has Jeremy Irons in it, which was done by Netflix, which is completely best. There's the Studio Canal version. You can find it on Netflix. There's an HBO Max one that has much more tits. They aren't very big tits, so womp womp. But that has Jeremy Irons who plays Scar in Lion King. Don't watch that one. It's called Borgia's. It's on Netflix. The production is Studio Canal. They do it real. That's like actually what happened, in my opinion. All right, so back to the facts is so I think the argument he's making is actually kind of a weird conciliatory argument for people who don't agree with the Pope's authority. But again, he has a grab bag of everything that could have been Catholic at one time, and he's just pulling from it as he wants. I guess that was my ultimate point. I'm sorry, I distracted us for like 20 minutes. My bad.
You're good. Yeah.
So go ahead. No, please talk. I shan't talk for a minute.
It's interesting. I didn't know about the Borgia popes. So.
Oh no, yeah. Yeah, but no, this whole thing. No, yeah. Like the first Pope Borgia. I'm gonna ask the AI. I'll ask the AI. I think it was. Let me ask AI. Actually, I don't want to say because every Pope takes a new name, you know. So the Borgia popes were which popes? Hopefully it gets that up. Oh yeah. Calixtus III, Alexander IV. So Alexander IV, Rodrigo de Borgia, was the one who was fucking his daughter and multiple other women. So that was from 1492, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, by the way, to 1503 when he died. So, yeah. So 16th century. I got my century off because I do the whole thing because I'm a scholar in literature, and so I'm like, oh yeah, 1900, like 20th century. I'm like, wait, like it messed with my mind. The whole point is that so the Borgia Pope, which was Calixtus III and Alexander VI, right? Born Rodrigo de Borgia, were the ones who were they were fucking their own daughters during the time. So I think the whole point is, I think that's not true, Chipringo. God damn it. Chipringo, my wife's gonna pot you down, Chipringo. You better stop it. But the point being is that the thing I was trying to talk with my buddy Wrestling here is that I think this argument is much more like a defense against the foibles of the popes that he's just like bringing in for no reason. Otherwise, this makes no sense to me. You are super welcome to make it make sense to me, but I don't think in any other context I think it makes sense.
I don't know. I would have to go read Robert Coons. This guy doesn't represent arguments very well. So
no, he's like, well, Coons said. Well, Richard Spencer said. I'm like, well, he's a white supremacist.
Actually never going to be someone who is receiving a blank piece of paper from somebody who is sitting before them. There has to be some beginning. There has to be somebody who actually starts the chain and writes their name upon it. So that's why it can't go back to infinity. It's simply not possible through causal chains. Now, again, I'm not denying that infinity.
Say stop when you stop.
No,
infinity can exist in a conceptual number way, but through causal sequences, I would deny that fact.
So what was the contradiction?
That you're saying that there is a cause and that there is being that is being actualized, so there's potency being actualized, but then you're not providing.
I think even if you don't want to, for convenience purposes, I think you need to clarify that because that was a fucking mess.
Well, he switched the language again. Remember how I was saying that
exactly.
He didn't say anything about potency. He's not wrong about this. This is Thomistic, like
right. But he's importing shit that he then assumes his opponent grants, which was never mentioned before till right now. So this is where potency enters the chat.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's completely unargued for. I think what he should have said, if he wanted to stay consistent with his original argument, is just that there is causal like powers, and no member contains causal powers. So there has to be something that gives the members causal powers.
Cool. That sounds good. But unfortunately, none of that was said that day.
Any grounding for how it is being actualized. So
That's
if you
not
can
a
tell me
contradiction.
where's the origin?
Wait. What's the contradiction? The P and not P.
The P and not P is that you're saying that there.
Or take a fucking evangelical apologetics class. Like, I don't even take something that makes you know what you're saying. That would be preferable, Vigi. But also, take a fucking class at all, brother.
There's being without a origin of being. So I'm not saying.
Wait, so saying that there's being. Wait, so when we're saying that there's an origin of being, we're just saying that origin is explained by an infinite sequence.
It's fallacious. You're saying that there's no origin.
So it's fallacious or contradictory?
It's a non sequitur. I never claimed it.
Oh my god. Okay. Add prop, post, propter hawk, non sequitur. Let's just throw all the Latin terms we know out there and see what fucking sticks. My god.
Non sequitur or is it contradictory?
It's a non sequitur. It's fallacious.
So it's not contradictory.
Fallacies are
It is
still
contradictory.
illogical. So just
Non sequitur doesn't mean it's fallacious.
It is contradictory.
I understand, but that's not a non sequitur.
Yeah, no, he's just, I don't know why he's saying it's not contradictory. He already drew out.
I know, and then but after he didn't respond to that, he's just like throwing out all the Latin terms he knows. He's like ipso loc resitor. Come on, bro. Like, go ahead. You're right. Explain it. That my point is, like, he's like throwing Latin slop against the wall, and it makes me angry.
Yeah, Parker was like, why can't infinite causal chains exist? And then this guy was like, well, and then he drew out a contradiction, which is that no member of the chain has cause, but there is causal powers. And then when Parker,
contradictory, right? Yes.
Yeah, and then Parker's like, is that a contradiction? He's like, no, it's not a contradiction. Like, what is?
I know. He's like, it's not a contradiction.
It's a non sequitur.
It's a non sequitur. I'm like, also, if we can look at the screen, no shade on anybody, because I was in several Shakespeare productions, and I also wore eyeshadow in many points in my life. But can we all agree he's wearing an olive shade of eyeshadow?
It does look like that, right?
It appears so. I've done it. I was Banquo in Macbeth. I wore eyeshadow and I wore a ghastly pale white, whiter than I am. If you can believe it, I was whiter than I am.
The beginning of this video was pretty gay too.
Yeah. No, it was. Yep. I think that dark side is. I can't wait to see the dark side on this one. All right, let's go.
Because it's not necessarily absolutely contradictory in a one-to-one doesn't mean that it's not still illogical.
It doesn't mean it's a non sequitur either, you moron.
Okay, so just to clarify, there is no contradiction with an infinite regression.
Not in a one-to-one sense, no.
Oh, okay.
He drew out a contradiction literally like 2 sentences ago.
Yeah.
10 sentences ago.
So he's like, no, it doesn't mean that. Like you sacrificed the only ground you actually had while you're drinking out of an Etsy version of the chalice. You cannot make this shit up.
Okay, so if there's no
you still have to show how you're finding an origin for causality.
Can I clarify? If there's no contradiction with an infinite.
Sorry, buddy, on the right. An origin for causality. What the fuck is an origin for causality?
Regression, right? Then why could you say that there's a contradiction with there being a infinite series or sequence of events of contingency being the explanation for contingent things?
Well, most of all because you already admitted there was one, and after that, yeah.
Real quick, remember how I said he kept switching arguments?
Yep.
Now Parker is arguing against the contingency argument because he thinks that's the argument that he put forward.
Right, because he put 3. I mean, and I don't blame Parker. Like Parker. The fucked up thing is Parker is the best faith arguer in this whole thing.
Yeah, Parker latched onto the word contingency because he said it like as the first premise, and now he's attacking the contingency.
And he also caught a Lapras while he was doing it. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, so he latched on the first thing, and this guy is now going to shift the goal. I'm like semi ashamed to be a Catholic and a semi Thomist because this dude with his fucking eyeshadow. I'm a semi Thomist, semi Kierkegaardian. We'll hash that out later.
Yeah. So allow me to give you a little example. We'll use the Communist Manifesto again. So I can light this.
Light it on fire. Maybe your fucking fake hair and your eyeshadow and your hair will catch on fire too. Let's fucking see. Let's fucking see consequences.
Communist Manifesto on fire. Now, if I say that this just spontaneously combusts and that
this is so dumb.
Well, he's trying to point out a contradiction again, but then he's denying it's a contradiction.
Exactly. And the contradiction was in his own logic. So he's pointing out a contradiction in his own logic and saying it's not a contradiction at the same time.
Yeah. He's deriving a contradiction, and then Parker's like, "Is that a contradiction?" He's like, "No, it's not.
No, it's not." Exactly. He's like, "Look at my dick." Oh, it's not my dick. It was a mirror. to make it concrete, I suppose.
there was absolutely no origin of the heat that caused that to happen, it would be fallacious.
No, he's adding heat to it. Like, oh my God, this guy he's like importing everything. Like, what about El Nino? What about global warming? Well, maybe if it wasn't global warming, maybe the heat would have been substantial enough to ignite my Communist Manifesto. Like by the extension of what he's arguing, all the things I just said could be imported too.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be argued for. You can just assert anything.
Exactly. Because El Nino.
Still, because there's no origin of the heat, but it doesn't necessarily.
You held a lighter under the Communist Manifesto, and now you're telling me there is no origin of the heat.
No,
I get what you're saying. I get what. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he's trying to point out that if there's no origin for the heat, then the book would never light on fire, but it does light on fire, which is P and not P. Exactly. But he's not calling it a contradiction. He's
right. He's making the fucking argument. He's making the Aquinas 2 argument, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Which is not. Oh, this is hilarious. The lighter for. Oh, sorry, I misread this because I'm dyslexic. I would say this is actual gaslighting was what I thought he said. This is like gaslighting on stage because there's gas and light on stage.
Necessarily mean that there's a 1-to-1 contradiction, but we could say that it's fallacious to say that there is an effect.
Is there a 2-to-3 contradiction? Is there a 4? Is there a 6-7 contradiction? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, there's a 6-7 contradiction.
I think so, and we've all experienced it.
So again, what's the fallacy?
It's a non-sequitur.
Wrong.
Where you're saying that there's an effect without a cause, or without an origin of cause.
Well, saying the origin of cause is explained by an infinite sequence.
This comes from first principles of Aristotle. Do you know the first Aristotelian principles?
Can you, instead of asking me a specific question, can you just answer my question that I just
This is in my heavily PTSD rattled brain. This debate began right here because this is where we need a cinder block to bash it against our heads. He's like, well, the first principle, the second principle, the third. We maybe just need to let it play in all regard that this is retarded, ipso facto, to use a Latin term.
I just want to point out that they are arguing about two completely different things right now.
Exactly. They're talking past each other. Yes.
Yeah, the Jesus and Whatnot is arguing about causality and the origin of causality, and then Parker is arguing about contingency. And it's the Catholic's fault because he
exactly. And then the Catholic comes back and says first, third, second principles of logic. The first principles of logic. I'm like, there are no first, would you agree with all my first principles? I'm like, there are no multiple first principles. There is a first principle. Everything flows from that. So he's trying to fucking lump in, but if you agree that you, with the first principles of logic, whatever the fuck that means, that you have to agree with my next 7 fucking premises.
Yeah, let's let it play.
Let's go. I have a clip. I'm gonna let it play till I pull up my clip, and then I'll play my
Mind you,
clip.
I'm asking if you know the first principles of Aristotle.
That's in response to the question I just asked you.
The first principles of Aristotle. That's not a fucking thing. Sorry, I'll play.
Deflect away from the question I just asked
So
you.
you don't know the first principles that I'm working
So
with?
you're acting like I don't know it because I'm
Of Aristotle?
not answering rather than answering my question.
Yeah. So it's okay if you don't know. I'm just asking, do you know?
Can you answer my question before you ask me
So
the question?
dumb. So
I'll
dumb.
tell you. Maybe it'll help. So I work with multiple first principles.
Can I have an answer to my question?
You-
Yeah,
Oh, wait, wait,
Wait. Question, and I feel like
I-
you're just trying to
I have
deflect
to
into
circle
this.
back. Wait. He just said, I work with multiple first principles.
I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying now. Because they can't all be first principles, right?
Exactly. But he's like, wait. I work with multiple first principles. Like, what the? I'm happy for you, I suppose. Very. I'm just like,
I'll be good faith, and I think what he's saying is first principles is these are like undeniable things. They're axiomatic for him. Like
yes. But saying, sorry, dude, I work with multiple first principles, unlike you, is like probably the worst way you could. Hey, Darkside, can you please clip the I work with multiple first principles for the new track? I think that's gold.
oh my god.
All right, let's go. I have a clip, and let's go.
Yeah. I'm trying to answer it, but I can't answer it without giving you my first principles.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you know? Do you know the first principles? Principle of
Oh
contract.
my god! Just fucking give them. You said that you can't answer without him knowing them. So it's super verbose to say then. Well, do you know what my principles, my multiple first principles are? Which of them?
Prediction,
Jesus.
principle of sufficient reason, principle of substance, sufficient causality, and the principle of finality. Do you know those?
Now that you've said them, yes, of course I know them now.
Now that I have dictated my 5 first principles, we can go forward. Like, I get what he's saying, but this is the dumbest fucking way to say it I've ever heard.
It's the first time I've ever heard them in my life. Never heard them before.
Can you explain them?
I mean, if I was this guy on the right, I'd be like, I've never heard 5 first principles in my life.
This is such a he's trying to get him at a gotcha. Like, why does Parker need to explain what his first principles are?
Especially since there are 5 first principles. Who would have known? Like, can you? Okay, if I was to ask you, Reston, what are my first principles? I think the first thing you would say was, "You mean principle?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." What is my first principle?
I don't know, man. I don't know what your.
Well, it doesn't matter what you said. You missed the other 4.
Oh my god.
Right? Like, that's the got you is like my first principles. Oh, fuck you. You missed the other 4 of my first principles.
Yeah, like, why does Parker need to explain what, like, let's just be good faith. He doesn't mean first principles, he means like axioms. Why does Parker need to explain what this guy's axioms are?
And the whole gotcha, like, oh, let me tell you my obscure first principles is a gotcha against Parker.
Yeah, because
Like,
he's not going to be able to.
Exactly.
He's not going to be
because,
able to tell him.
That's the whole thing. The stupidest thing ever. And I always, I teach college classes, right? The dumbest thing a professor could ever say is the whole like, oh, what's in my pocket question, right? Like, nobody knows. So like,
Right.
maybe someone will say, maybe it's a rock, maybe it's a gun, maybe it's your fucking wife's jaw you murdered last night. Who knows, right? Any question, a actual person who's interested in the actual intellectual composition of their opponent gives the premise. It's not guess this. It's like, so if whatever Jesus guy is asking Parker a good faith question and say, so would you agree that the first principle is non-contradiction? We'll say, right? And then Parker can agree or disagree, and they can argue about that. But do you agree in all my first principles? but I'm like also like freaking showboating them in, or like shanghaiing them into first principle, and now all of a sudden you say yes, and now there's 7. Like, Jesus Christ. I think our Catholic brother here is like super bad faith, man.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
I'm
also,
happy that Parker caught Moltres. Fucking good for him.
the only reason that they're even talking about first principles right now is because this guy doesn't realize that there was a contradiction. Like,
Right.
Parker kept asking for the contradiction, and then he would spell out a contradiction and be like, "It's not a contradiction. It's
No, it's not a contradiction. It's a non sequitur.
it's a non sequitur."
I'm not contradicting myself. I'm non sequituring myself. How dare you? Which also is yep. And then there was one. We'll keep playing. We'll go.
Please answer my question.
Well, no,
before
you
try
said
to
you know the
shift the
David
burden.
This is. Oh, sorry. I already said this is where it goes off the rails. But he gets super like freaking this dude. I'm drawing the mustache on. He goes super Emily, super freaking like blood sports here for no reason. Like, let's play it. I'll stop. We'll play it.
Can you explain it? You're
Can you answer my question and trying to shift the burden?
No, hold on. You're making it seem like I'm an idiot for asking you if you know that.
Well, because you kind of seem like you are one. Sorry, I'll stop pausing.
The burden.
You
shifting
haven't
the burden.
provided any
That's what
proof
you're
that you. I will answer your question. I promise.
doing. No. Please don't shift the burden. Please answer my question if you want me to answer your question.
It's not burden shifting.
So
I'll be
good.
honest with you. It's
So
incredibly
good.
dishonest for you to say that me not answering the question is somehow like me pivoting or being
No,
dishonest instead of
I'm literally just trying to
answering the
establish.
question I provided. Do you remember the question I provided?
Yeah, you're asking how there's some sort of fallacious contradiction or how it's
No, but nice try.
illogical with what I just said. And I'm about to give
I
you
asked
that.
you what the fallacy was, and you have
Yeah.
yet to tell me what the fallacy is.
I already told you it's a non sequitur, but I'm about.
Oh, Jesus.
So, like,
I think you'll go ahead. I think we've made the point, but go ahead.
what Parker's trying to ask, why can't other contingent things explain the existence of contingent things?
Yes.
And this guy has already given the answer to that.
He has. He's contradicted himself and given the proper answer in his own argument.
Yeah, he's given an answer to that and then called it a non sequitur instead of.
Like, Latin words win? I guess. I don't know.
To explain through my first principles how we're determining that is a non sequitur. But I want you to tell me
Go
first
ahead.
what my first principles are.
Instead of trying to shift the burden, how about you just answer the question?
I'm not shifting the burden. Just admit.
Tell me what my first principles are before I can answer your question. What my first principles are before I will answer your question.
That you don't know them. It's okay. It's
So
okay. I'm not
you're
trying to.
gonna keep
How could anybody know your first principles?
trying to do this. I'm not gonna let you do that. So you can either answer my question or you can choose to do this.
You know the principle of identity.
I'm gonna sit here and I'm going to literally.
Which is none of your first principles. Then we have another first principle. Fuck my life.
Not respond until you answer my question, sir.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, no. So I'll
You
give
think
you
that's
my.
dishonest of me to like wait for an answer to my question rather than have you shift the burden?
I think it's dishonest that you tried to make it seem like you knew something that you didn't, and that's okay. I think we're all good.
Claiming I didn't know it. Okay, this is just
All right,
ridiculous.
cool.
Please
Thank
shift
you. Thank you. We need an amuse the bouche. We need something. Give me that, and let's because I might. He's talking about the laws of non-contradiction. Now he's bringing in laws of logic. So we have 6. No, come here. No, come here. No, put it up. No, put it on. Oh my God, my daughter. Okay, so my daughter's going to a birthday party this weekend, and she's going to try to scare her friend, and she's going to try to look at the person from the ring, and you look just like it, and then you took it off because you were shy. All right. While she's spinning up the new jam, here's my daughter from the ring, and she's gonna wear this on to scare her best friend at the birthday party this
I
weekend.
can't see.
No, you do it. You have to do the thing. Okay, fair enough. Close enough. Scared the hell out of me. All right. You can't import the people. Well, at least at that point in time, we definitely don't violate fair use standards.
I don't know why everyone in the chat is so confused. This guy has been so clear about what he means. In his
Yeah, absolutely. Like, who doesn't know? Only at this point, only Alex Jones could be confused.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the great. Yes. Hey, Theron got it. And now there's a gentleman mowing our yard outside with okay, he's gone now. Anyways. All right, let's just make it more clear. All right, so hey, come back. Come back. I want to hear that. I want to hear the I'm so happy to distract from what the fuck is going on here.
No, if there's a contention that you know it, can you explain my first principles?
Can you just answer the question?
You don't have okay, so sorry. Sorry. Triggered again. Triggered. Your first principles and the fundamental laws of logic are two separate buckets of things. You've been importing everything into your first principles. You can't then take the principle of identity and make that one of your first principles, because that, by definition, is not one of your first principles. You
see how he's just constantly trying to shift the burden here?
I'm about to answer it. I just want you to tell me what my first principle is.
And our buddy on the right worded it wrong. It's not shifting burden. It's being, anyways.
Answer it right now.
Yeah, I'm going to. I just want you to tell me that you don't
answer it right now.
See, okay, yeah, I'll answer. So the principle of efficient causality is that every contingent being, even if it exists
What? That's not the first principle. Jesus Christ.
without beginning, needs an efficient cause, and in last analysis is an uncreated cause. So that's actually one of my first principles. And this also follows from the principle of substance that comes after it in order of conception.
Wait, hold on.
The first principle,
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, hit it.
The conclusion is his first principle. The conclusion to his argument. The conclusion to his argument is his first principle.
Yeah.
Actually, my first principle is that God exists. So
Yep.
you just have to. You just you have to.
So suck it.
Debate over.
Debate over. Concede or else. But you see how I just no, it happens again. He imports third and fourth principles to be the conclusion to his premise too. It does not stop here, folks.
Is that everything has some reason for being. Sorry, that's sufficient reason. Principle of substance is in the middle of that. Principle of sufficient reason, that everything has some reason for being, or as Gary Lagrange says, raison d'être.
Oh, so appeal to authority and another first principle / conclusion.
And I'm horrible at French, so I am so sorry to all my French speakers.
Not as sorry as you should be to all rational thinkers who are in the audience. I think the French thinkers are the least of your victims, good sir.
So wait, what was how is it specifically a non sequitur? For me to say what is the contradiction with an infinite series of
all right. In 15 minutes we'll have a fucking break. So intermission in 15 minutes ish. Not gonna hold her to that. And we'll see. I can't wait. The first one was fucking gold. We'll see how this goes.
Infinite regression causing. Or
Yes,
infinite regression of contingencies causing.
It violates the first principles of Aristotelian metaphysics.
Oh my God. Can you stop mowing? I'm online, you asshat.
Okay,
all right. Anyway, so can you explain why that statement makes anybody who knows anything about philosophy want to drive a screwdriver into her eyeball?
I'm sorry. Can you? Do you know what he said?
I'm sorry. I'll go back.
You don't need to go back far. Just to
the last sentence he said.
Yeah.
I would contend that anybody who's ever taking a philosophy course ever would rather drive a flat-bait screwdriver through their eyeball than admit what he says is a thing.
For me to say what is the contradiction with an infinite series of or infinite regression causing. Or infinite regression of contingencies causing.
It violates the first principles of Aristotelian metaphysics. That's how.
Okay, so because it violates the first principle, that makes it a non sequitur.
Yeah, it doesn't follow that you can have an effect without a cause due to the principle of sufficient reason.
So how does that?
So he's just doing a terrible job at explaining this.
Right.
But he's doing a really, really bad job.
The worst job ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I
like,
think
you know that whole thing where like people used to, like there was a whole like TikTok or YouTube thing where it's like you like give a 5-year-old an ice cream cone and like tell me about the Civil War, and they're like, oh yeah, well the South attacked the North, and then Darth Vader killed Luke Skywalker, and that's how the Civil War ended. Like this is on the level of that.
yeah, it's not good. But I think what he's getting at is the principle of sufficient reason. There's a bunch of different principle of sufficient reasons, by the
Right.
way.
And there's the Thomistic one he was arguing earlier, which he's apparently abandoned in favor of the other ones. But it's like a grab bag of reasons for everything.
Yeah, has he even defined the principle of sufficient reason yet?
No, he has not, and he shan't.
Okay.
So
what I
let's
thought.
just, yeah, no, you're correct, sir.
He just says
That
as
may be a
articulated by this
Go
guy.
ahead.
The
As
principle
yeah, as articulated by this fucking random ass fucking monk in the 14th century, which you
Yeah.
now have to accept as true because I missaid his name because I don't speak French.
classic Thomas. All right, yeah, keep going.
All right.
Because what are you not? So I'm saying it doesn't follow. That, do you know what non sequitur means? It does not follow. So I just showed you it does not follow.
Yes,
You can
that's.
have an effect with
Oh
other-
my God! Yes, that's what non sequitur means, which means you've been misusing and abusing it for the last fucking hour and a half. Well, 20 minutes, but last hour and a half of this stream at least.
cause. And do you understand my first principles? Do you understand what the
So,
purpose of having
wait. You say it doesn't follow
Which ones? How many?
that there is that because there, or sorry, you're saying it doesn't follow if there's an infinite sequence of events that there could then be a cause simply because of the fact that it doesn't meet the first principle. Are you saying in order for you to be able to explain whether or not there is a cause, you need to accept this first principle?
Do you deny my first principle?
So dumb.
I'm just asking, do you have to accept it?
Yeah, it's my paradigm.
Okay, wait. So then you're saying that I have to accept this in order to be able to
No, he asked if you have to accept it, not if he asked Jesus Christ.
explain why a contingent set of causes could be explained by an infinite sequence?
Yeah, it's the first principles of reason and logic. So I would assume that you would.
No, that an infinite set of principles can be. Let him have it, brother. Let him have it. Explain why that's fucking dumb.
No, just keep playing, right? I just keep playing. I think I'm just gonna
I'm
end
sorry,
up
but, like,
repeating.
but that in and of itself, but we have to make sure you hit this because that sentence by itself. Oh, okay.
Accept them, yeah.
I'm confused how that specifically is going to. Can I just hear again? Maybe we're a little bit confused here.
I think
Do
we
you agree
are.
that there's not a contradiction
I think we're really fucking confused here.
with an infinite sequence of events and of contingent things being the explanation for a contingent thing. You agree?
So like I said, within your infinite regress, there's not a one-to-one contradiction, but it violates the first principles of logic. And so
No,
therefore,
so
there's
it's
not.
not, so just to clarify, you don't think it is contradictory for there to be a infinite sequence of events that causes, right, a contingent thing.
No, so there's not a contradiction between those two things.
So it
There's
is
a
possible.
contradiction. There's a contradiction between what you're saying and first principles of logic, and you haven't refuted.
There is a contradiction. I don't. I'm just gonna repeat it. So like, just play it. Like, but
Okay,
yes, there's
sorry.
a
So I'm
contradiction.
asking if you
I'll let
can
it go.
show how there's not
When it hits critical mass, say critical mass, and we'll stop it. Okay.
Okay.
a contradiction between what you're saying and logic itself. You haven't done that.
Wait. You said that logic itself. So again, in terms of there being a principle standpoint of things can be themselves or the logical laws that we
It's
typically
Christ, brother
accept,
Christ.
what about those means that you specifically can't accept that there was an infinite sequence that is going to be the cause of this particular contingent thing? You're just saying, oh, it violates this first principle that you accept, but not a principle of all notions or understandings of logic. Do you agree?
Do you accept my first principles?
Go through the first principle one more time that you're saying it violates.
The first principle. Well,
So our poor son on the right thinks that when he says first principle, he means first principle. And now he's going to rail off the 6-7 principles that are first principles. Oh, Jesus God.
how about I just walk you through first principles in general so that you can have like a full understanding of it, so we can have a good conversation. Would that
Sure.
help?
Just go ahead and tell me what the first principle is that you think
Maybe
it's
you
violating.
should have started
I
with
think it'd be
that.
helpful if I
Maybe
just
that would
explain
have
first
helped
principles
from the
in general to you, 'cause
beginning.
I don't think you're actually understanding the purpose of first principles. Because
Okay.
you're saying,
if you'd like to do that instead of answering my question, go for it.
yeah,
Maybe you don't understand the purpose of first principles. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it violates specifically the principle of sufficient reason, and it also violates the principle of sufficient causality.
So wait, so I'm sorry.
It violates the principle of sufficient reason, the principle of efficient causality.
Yeah, I don't have to accept the
Should
principle.
I
of sufficient
stop
reason.
yet? I think I
Okay,
can
so do you
stop
deny the
now.
principle of sufficient reason?
I don't accept
Yeah,
it. No.
so stop.
You
Okay.
Stop. I just
I
want to
think
say,
I
just
want
wanna
to
point
go
out-
back a bit to this, like this a little bit. Go ahead.
I just want to point out, has the principle of sufficient reason been defined?
No.
And then Parker is denying it. He doesn't even know what
Yes!
he's denying. He doesn't even know what
Exactly.
he's denying.
Because he's so pissed off at this guy just throwing random Latin terms at him. He's like, whatever you say, no. He's like, is the background of your fucking screen purple? Fuck no.
Yeah, the only thing that's been said about the principle of sufficient reason is it's articulated by some French dude. Like
Yeah, by some French dude who he
Right.
admits he can't pronounce his name right, so you can't actually cite him or quote him.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that's been said about it, and Parker is denying it. And there is like 20 different principle of sufficient reasons. The principle
Yes.
of sufficient reason has been changed a lot. Like you have the Leibnizian one, you
Yep.
have the Alexander Proust has a new one that's in the literature now. You have
Oh yeah,
the-
Leibniz has a separate one. So does F.H. Bradley has a separate one.
Yeah, exactly. There's
Yeah.
there's a ton of PSRs, and so Parker is just I guess denying all of the PSRs. Like,
Well, I mean, when you don't know what caliber of bullet is coming at you, better say no caliber at all. I guess. I mean, like I feel bad for the guy because you're like, do I say all the bullets or no bullets? I'll say no bullets.
yeah, I don't know. But yes, I just thought that was funny. He denied the PSR without even like knowing what PSR he was
Well,
denying.
I think at this point in time, like, and I agree Parker did bad on that one, right? But the whole point, this guy's like saying, well, John Chatoyer in 2474 said, Umadabade, do you agree or disagree? Okay, you agree. So now sufficient for principal reason because John Chatoyer said, like he's like it's like a very like weird version of gish galloping, I guess.
I don't know.
But I don't even know. Okay, so we're going back a second and we're going to rewatch this last bit. And Jesus Christ.
Causality.
So wait, say that one more time. Sorry.
It violates the principle of sufficient reason, the principle of efficient causality.
Yeah, I don't have to accept the principle of sufficient reason.
Okay, so do you deny the principle of sufficient reason?
Jesus God.
I don't accept it now.
You
don't accept
you
it.
deny the principle of sufficient reason. Can you
Yes,
just
I
say
don't
that
accept
for
the PSR.
All right.
Okay, so can you tell me what the problem is with the principle of sufficient reason?
Can you tell me what the principle of sufficient reason is before I can either deny or affirm it? Please, God.
Can you wait before we do so? Can you say why?
Well, no, you
And now he spurgs out. He's like, wait, what? So many opportunities to make this less retarded, and so many opportunities were not taken.
accuse me of running. You have to answer the question now. You just denied the principle of sufficient reason. One of the
What the fuck? He asked you what that is. If you're asking to accept it, you better fucking have an understanding of what it is and be able to tell him that. And then you can say, oh, you dumb retard. The principle of sufficient reason is this. But you're like, oh, you don't know. And maybe I don't know either, actually. And that's the great. Anybody who wants to do a string cap, there you go. String cap that and say, what my sufficient reasoning principle is. Oh, no. That one.
first principles of logic. Can you explain what's wrong with it? And look at the camera. when
I
you
see
say
no
it.
reason that I require it to accept it. Do you agree?
Hold on.
Without a reason to accept
You
it.
can't just say I don't
Wait,
accept
okay,
that.
what was you? Sorry, go ahead.
He just called the principle of sufficient reason a principle of logic.
Yes.
That is not a principle of logic.
He is he is importing it to be the same, and you'll see this going forward. He is importing the principle of sufficient reason to be the same exact the truth category as the principle of identity. That's what he's doing right now.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to point that out. The principle
No,
of sufficient
thank
reason
you. Oh, look,
is not
there's
a
actually
principle
there's a
of logic.
Pokeball back there. I hope he caught a fucking Charmander because this is fucking dumb. Okay, here we go. Okay. I think it's Jesus juice. We'll say it's Jesus juice. We'll say that.
It's Jesus juice.
And well, if everything is a first principle, then nothing is a first principle by the principle of identity, which is not a first principle. It's a principle of logic, which is not a first principle. Comments?
Yeah, we could continue. I just wanted to point out that the PSR he's calling it.
That's a great ball. It's not the best. Many people tell me it's not a great ball. The best ballroom, great ball, best ball, ultra ball. All right, let's go.
Because I don't want to. You have to provide a
Wait,
logical.
no. You have to provide an argument for the principle. You can't just say you have to accept it because it's a principle.
Yeah,
Right?
so
You have
I'm
to provide an argument for the principle. If
Yeah,
I'm
so again-
specifically denying, specifically that there needs to be a fucking
Watch him try to import principles of logic into his preconceived principles.
And
PCR.
this is
Yeah.
super easy to do, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Like you could just say that when you try to explain why you don't need a principle of sufficient reason, you're using the principle of sufficient reason, right? Because all the principle of sufficient reason is saying, well, I don't know exactly what his says, is that there's an explanation for things, right?
Yeah.
And so like by trying to explain away the principle of sufficient reason, you are importing it.
Well, when our buddy on the right here, what's his name? I'm sorry. When Parker says, like, could you explain the principle of sufficient reason? He's like, oh, bro, you don't know the principle of sufficient reason? You're so dumb. Oh, my God. How don't you know that? Right? Which, like, gets that away from all the chat from knowing, or the watchers from knowing what that means. So I'm not actually confirmed that Jesus and whatnot actually knows what the fuck that actually means. He never actually had. I don't think he does either.
He does end up giving a definition.
Eventually.
Well, he doesn't give a full definition, but he does give a partial definition at least.
Right. But the point where I think Parker is totally entitled to say, hey, brother, what is your definition of the principle of sufficient reason? He's like, oh, bro, you don't know that? Oh my God, how dumb are you? Like, wouldn't it be like, oh, okay, well, here's my definition is, do you contest that or not? But we're not. We are in the upside down, inside out world of Catholic fucked up theology. So here we fucking go, right?
And sorry, I apologize. If I'm denying that there needs to be an uncaused cause in order to be able to bring about things, and that there can be an infinite regression that then inevitably explains the contingent things, then I don't see why I would need to accept the PSR.
That's actually, I think that want to walk through that with me, brother. I think that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. I'm sorry.
Well, the first two do, the second doesn't, or the third doesn't.
Well, I'm going to try to steel man what he's saying.
Please.
I think what he's doing is the Hume Edwards objection. Where
That is what he's doing. Yeah.
So Hume Edwards doesn't deny the PSR. He just says that the PSR can be satisfied by another contingent member of the set.
Yeah.
So all you need to say is like your father caused you, and that's enough of an explanation to satisfy the PSR. So the Hume Edwards just weakens the PSR to be able to have contingent members of the set satisfy it.
Yeah. So the Hume Edwards argument attacks the sufficiency of it, right?
Yeah, it weakens the PSR so that you don't have to. Basically, contingent members of a set can explain other contingent members of a set. But I just want to point out that is an objection against the contingency argument, which is Aquinas' third way, and this guy,
this fucking guy,
he put forward the second way. Right, he didn't put forward the third way. He put forward the second way, and then Parker.
But he said the second way was the third way, was the first way, was the fifth way, was the sixth way.
I agree. The confusion is because of the person arguing for the existence of God. But I'm just saying that this is an objection against the third way, which is the contingency argument. It's not an objection against the second way, which is the argument that they're.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But the whole point is denying the contingency principle. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. Actually,
yeah, and then that's the other thing is Parker says he's denying the PSR, but he's not denying the PSR. He's just weakening it.
I actually think Parker's argument relies on the PSR to make its counterpoint.
It does. That's exactly right.
But he doesn't know that yet because our buddy on the left here, Derp, doesn't know what the fuck's even going on. So let's go.
Principle of sufficient reason. One of the first principles of logic. Can you explain what's wrong with it? And look at the camera.
I see no reason that I require it to accept it. Do you agree?
Body of Christ, blood of Christ. Every time he does that, I'm going to do that.
Provide a reason to accept it.
You can't just say I don't accept that because I don't want to. You have to provide a logic.
Wait. No. You have to provide an argument for the principle. You can't just say you have to accept it because it's a principle.
Yeah.
Right?
So
That's fair, actually, on Parker's side.
Well, an argument for the principle. If I'm
so again,
specifically denying, if I'm denying specifically that there needs to be a fucking, sorry, I apologize. If I'm denying that there needs to be an uncaused cause in order to be able to bring about things.
Sorry, go ahead.
The principle of sufficient reason, I don't really think you need an argument for. Like I said.
So my point for Parker's side is like, motherfucker, you can't say it's a principle, so therefore I have to accept it. That was his argument.
Oh yeah, it's just you have to accept it because in denying it, you implicitly accept it. It's kind of like the law.
No. Okay, so I'll grant you, if it actually is a principle, you must accept it. But because this motherfucker on the left has been so bad faith all along, merely because you say it's a principle means I have to accept it? No, fuck you. I'm not doing that. I think that's where Parker's at this point. He's like, because you say it's a principle, like normally in a good faith debate, you say it's a principle, I would accept that, but not for you.
Yeah, that's probably.
I think that's where we're at. So because you on the left here with your freaking what do you call that? Like what shade of
You said olive earlier.
I think it's olive. It might be. Hey, women in the chat. What shade of eyeshadow does he have on? Well, wait till we get a response. Chapingo will know too. Chapingo knows all about the women's.
This is very crucial information.
Absolutely. The fate of the world hinges upon it. Hey, exactly. We're asking the experts. We got the experts in the chat. Why not consult them? Oh, here we go. Oh, wait. Well, while we pause on that, we now have.
And that there can't be.
No. I clicked the wrong button. We now have the opening arguments as a song by T-Pain and Little Miss and others. And I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. Because you apparently know everything, Trapingo. Jesus Christ. No, don't pod. Now don't pod Trapingo out, Pookie. Don't do it. Don't do it. Apparently she's your friend now. Awkward for everyone. All right, so here now I have to learn how to do the do. She sent me the thing. We have two to real. We have two alternate versions. I'm sorry. This is gonna be fucking. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. All right, so we're going to upload more music. I appreciate Dark Side for teaching me how to do this. I've learned a new thing today. And so we're uploading, and we'll assume me going. It's a Muse-a-boosh. It's a palate cleanser, a palate taster for whatever the fuck comes next. All right, so I'm gonna play it. If you can't hear, since you're my most relevant feedback, let me know, buddy. You hear that?
I can hear it. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's fucking go. Oh no!
All I affirm masculinity.
Wait, that was sorry. That was no. It's sorry. I clicked the wrong thing. I'm boomer. I even managed to boomer that son of a bitch. All right, here we go. This is the real thing.
That all contingent things require
All right, let's go.
Have to exist.
No, not. No, stop. Son of a. All right, sorry. All right, here. I suck at everything. I'm so sorry. Here's the real thing. Let's go.
that I'm gonna go through, and then there are 3 conclusions that come from those premises. The first premise is that all contingent things require an efficient, because a contingent thing is something that does not have to exist. For example, this pen does not have to exist, but rather it only exists because someone made it. If nobody made this pen, it wouldn't exist, and therefore, it doesn't have to exist. All of these contingent things do not exist of themselves, but rather they exist because something caused them to exist. Apples don't have to exist. They only exist because a tree made them. Computers do not have to exist. They only exist because a company manufactured them. All of these contingent things require an efficient, cause that gives them existence. Premise 2 is that nothing can be its own efficient, cause nothing can cause itself to exist. Causality implies something being prior to another. For example, the pen can't cause itself to exist because before the pen existed, there was no pen. So how could something that doesn't exist cause itself to exist? That's nonsense. Premise 3 is the causes exist in series, sometimes called chains. Since all contingent things have efficient causes before them, even the causes themselves, if they are contingent, have prior causes. For example, a pen is caused by a manufacturer, but the manufacturing company was caused by the person who started the company, and the person who started the company was caused by his parents, and so on. This is a chain of causality. It can also be referred to as a causal series. Premise 4 is that a causal sequence cannot regress to infinity. Causal sequences, or these causal chains, cannot go back forever, because if they did, then the sequence would never begin to exist in the first place. There are 2 analogies that can help explain this. The first analogy is a train pulling a number boxcar. The train can never move if there wasn't an engine pulling the train. In the same way, causal sequences can never begin unless there is something that causes them to begin. A first cause. The second analogy is similar, but it uses a chandelier. If a chandelier is held up by a chain, and the chain goes on forever to infinity, and never connects to a ceiling, then the chandelier would fall to the ground, and nothing would be holding it up. It doesn't connect to anything, it's not grounded in anything. However, if there is a ceiling, the chain will be grounded in something and be able to be held above the ground. In a similar way, causal sequences can never go back to infinity. They have to have a definitive beginning. The ceiling would be the definitive beginning, and the causal chain would be the chain of the chandelier. There are 3 conclusions that can come from this. The first conclusion is that since causal series cannot regress to infinity, there must be a first uncaused cause. If every causal series requires a beginning, there must be a first cause that is at the beginning. This first cause must be uncaused, because if it had a cause, then it would no longer be at the beginning of the chain. It would just be another link within the chain. The second conclusion is that the uncaused cause is not contingent or stated before the uncaused cause has no cause before it, which means that it exists according to its own nature. There is no reality in which the first cause does not exist. In other words, the first cause exists as a necessary being. The third conclusion is that since the uncaused cause is a necessary being, it is also 100% acting, 0% potency. Potency is a real capacity that something has to become a way other than it is. For example, the Communist Manifesto has the passive potency to burn, but it's not currently burning. It has the capacity to burn, but it's not burning. That is potency. Actuality is the fulfillment of that potency. For example, if I hold a lighter to the bottom of the Communist Manifesto and burn it, there will be an actualization of the potency that it had to burn. The capacity to burn is the potency, causing it to burn will be actualization. That would be the act. Uncaused cause must be pure act, because if it had any potency, there would have to be something prior to it that would determine its potency. This would violate the fact that our uncaused cause is uncaused. It would be a continuous loop of nonsense. There is a fourth conclusion, and it is the most important one. This first cause is the classical definition of God. The first cause has no potency, no capacity to change. It can never gain or lose knowledge, power, love, or perfection. Pure act also cannot lack any perfection that belongs to being, because potency is the lack of perfection that could potentially be possessed. Therefore, our perfection of being is found in its fullest sense in the first cause. This first cause must have unlimited ultimate power and unlimited justice. This being is the first cause of the universe. God, 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 God.
That's fucking amazing.
So there are
Oh my
four
God.
premises that I'm gonna go through, and then there are three
Let me
conclusions that come
figure
from
out
those
how to sound
premises. The first premise is that all contingent things.
That was fucking amazing. Great work. Great work. Hey, can Dark Side, if could you make that's fucking hilarious. That's great. I the funniest thing is I think that the actual like the song you made like makes the arguments way better than either of the debaters actually made the arguments. Wrestling, your thoughts?
I think so. I'm gonna be honest though. Like I left the browser for a second and then came back and the song stopped for me. So I couldn't hear it after that.
Well, after we're all done here, I will replay it for you. We can do a private react, okay?
Okay. So
I think you should hear it because it'll be. I was like laughing my ass off the whole time. I'm gonna ask Dark Side, could you do a? Is it possible? You don't have to do it at all. When I debated Emmett, could you make a video of me and Emmett debate as a rap song, T-Pain style? Could you do that? I'll do version 2. Yes. I'll do. Okay, so we're gonna have another interlude. We'll do version 2. Yeah, I'll do. Hey, let's make a deal. Can you make me T-Pain, me and Emmett debate if I play version 2? I'll play it either way. I don't really actually care. But I would really love to see the me and Emmett debate. All right, that's fine. That's fine. But you'd help me out with that, Dark Side, yeah? I don't care if it's today, tomorrow, whatever. Because I think it'd be hilarious. I think me and Emmett would be hilarious. Like, almost as hilarious as the other one was. Shapringo's number 1 in the chat. You're not going to... Wait, you're on your phone? Oh my God, the Pookie's on the phone. Everybody, watch your asses. The Pookie's modding from the phone. Don't pod them out, son of a bitch. Who'd you pod out? Everybody. No, fuck. I apologize for my wife being a tyrant. She's from the Caribbean, so she doesn't understand common law or English law. Well, everybody who's here can hear me. Who's left? The people you haven't fucked up yet. That's who's left. Jesus Christ. No, leave them alone. I'm going to unmod you. I can unmod you like that. I can unmod you. I'm fitna. Okay, so Mother of God. This is the price you pay for having children and loving them. Anyways, so we'll proceed. Actually, at this point, how long have you timed them out for? 10 minutes? You better not. You don't do 24 hours to my boys. I told you that. 10 seconds? Okay, they're back. Okay, so I don't mean to take any more time wrestling than we need to. But to let my people come back who are actually honest contributors who help the intellectual development of the chat, I'm going to play the other one that Dark Side made for us. So we can let the people be untimed out. You timed out birds aren't? You timed them out? I'm sorry, birds aren't worst mod in history. I'm sorry. Don't do it. I'm going to unmod. No. You timed out birds aren't even real? Yeah, she did. You timed out birds. Oh, my fucking God. No. Yes. You timed out birds aren't even real. Birds aren't even real. Didn't say shit. Let my people. Chapringro. Chapringro is the new Martin Luther King. Let my people go. The new Moses. The new Martin Luther King Jr. Let my fucking people go. Not anymore. Since you became a fascist, Moses was on fucking Egypt's side till he fucking freed the Jews. Okay. Oh. Birds Aren't Real was trolling me. Hey, Birds Aren't Real, you got me to yell at my wife for free. That should be a $10 super chat to get me to yell at my wife. Wait, okay,
Everybody was gone.
Oh, this is fucking hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna play the new one. I'm gonna play First Cause Part 2. And then after that, we'll proceed with the fuckery that we are all embarrassingly watching.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much left anyway.
No, I think I've gotten through it. So let's have a laugh and then like pod through the rest of it, eh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're gonna add more music. Oh. Do charging my attack. Hey, you ever watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge series? Like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge series on YouTube? I'm asking you, brother.
No, I haven't. I haven't watched it.
Oh, it's a good watch. It is a lot of the what, booby?
Don't you bring her that I hate him?
I didn't say, I'm trying to download a song. Oh my god, so many things at once. I'm a boomer. I'm not a boomer. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let me play the track and then you can yell at me after that, okay? Deal?
I don't hate you, Pringo.
Nobody said you hate Chipingro. I'm not in the chat. I'm trying to do a media file thing. It's very complicated for me. I'm so I don't even know what's going on.
Why inefficient? Cause a contingent thing is so.
Wait, hey, Darkside, is this the one? Oh my god. I'm not calling ice on anyone. I'm not calling ice on anyone. All right. So, hey, Darkside, you still here? I want to make sure this is the one you wanted me to play, okay? On anyone.
To the chat? You put ice in the chat?
Don't do it, Springro. You are the only fucking. When the United States government set up the federal system, there was a balance of powers. If you relinquish your wrench, we have an imbalance of powers. You are the only thing stopping tyrannical control over our fucking society. Brother, help us. Save us. One of us.
No.
Don't do it. Okay, I'll give it to. I'll pass the wrench. Supreme Girl, I'll pass the wrench. I'll pass the wrench. I'll pass the wrench to the people you hate the most. I have control of the wrench because I am the executive, and go fuck yourself. All right. Well, you fucking made the bed. You can lie in it. Hey, Darkside, make sure this is the right one.
That I'm gonna go through, and then there are 3 conclusions that come from those premises. The first premise is that all contingent things require an efficient cause. A contingent thing is something that does not have to exist. For example, this pen does not have to exist, but rather it only exists because someone made it. If nobody made this pen, it wouldn't exist, and therefore it doesn't have to exist. All of these contingent things do not exist of themselves, but rather they exist because something caused them to exist. Apples don't have to exist, they only exist because a tree made them. Computers do not have to exist, they only exist because a company manufactured them. All of these contingent things require inefficient, cause that gives them existence. Premise 2 is that nothing can be its own efficient cause. Nothing can cause itself to exist. Causality implies something being prior to another. For example, the pen can't cause itself to exist. It could be before the pen existed, there was no pen. So how could something that doesn't exist cause itself to exist? That's nonsense. Premise 3 is that causes exist in series, sometimes called chains, since all contingent things have efficient causes before them, even the causes themselves. If they are contingent, have prior causes. For example, a pen is caused by a manufacturer, but the manufacturing company was caused by the person who started the company, and the person who started the company was caused by his parents, and so on. This is is a chain of causality. It can also be referred to as a causal series. Premise 4 is that a causal sequence cannot regress to infinity. Causal sequences or these causal chains cannot go back forever, because if they did, then the sequence would never begin to exist in the first place.
There are two analogies that can help explain this.
The first analogy is a train pulling a number of boxcars. The train could never move if there wasn't an engine pulling the train. In the same way, causal sequences can never begin
Unless there is something that causes them to begin the first cause.
The second analogy is similar, but it uses a chandelier.
If a chandelier
It's held up by a chain, and the chain goes on forever to infinity and never connects to a ceiling. Then the chandelier would fall to the ground and nothing would be holding it up.
it doesn't connect to anything.
It's not grounded in anything.
However, if there is a
The
ceiling,
chain will be grounded in something and be able to be held above the ground.
in a similar way, causal sequences can never go back to infinity. They have to have a definitive beginning. The ceiling would be the definitive beginning, and the causal chain would be the chain of the chandelier. There are three conclusions that can come from this.
The first conclusion
Is that since causal series
cannot regress to infinity,
there must be a first uncause.
cause if every causal series requires a beginning, there must be a first cause.
That is
I
at the
always
beginning.
think your finger
This
wrong. What are you
first cause
talking
must
about?
be uncaused.
Because if it had a cause, then it would no longer be at the beginning of the chain. It would just be another link within the chain.
The second conclusion is that the uncaused cause.
Okay, so me and the wifey here, the Dr. Pookie, are gonna go to Nashville. So I have a debate coming up in Nashville by the battleground World War whatever thing in Nashville on September 11, 9/11. Hey. I'm gonna, and they're like, well, we need some music to play in the interim time. I'm gonna fucking literally play. I have some inside. We're gonna play these songs at Nashville live in front of a galaxy of debaters, because these are fucking bomb as fuck. So thank you, Dark Side. Give me the Emmett one when you can get it. But like, I'm sending these over. But these will be played in Nashville live. They are bomb as fuck.
It's not contingent,
As
For real,
stated
though.
before, the uncaused cause,
has no cause before it, which means that it exists
according to its own nature,
There is no reality in which the first cause
Amen.
does not exist.
Amen.
In other words,
Amen.
the first cause.
This is a necessary being.
The third conclusion is
That since the uncaused
cause is a necessary being.
No.
It is also 100%
He's right.
acting,
Wait,
0% potency.
potency
Is a real capacity
that something has to become a way,
other than it is.
Okay,
For example, the
that's-
Communist
that's
Manifesto
okay.
has the passive potency to burn,
but it's not currently burning. It has
not
the capacity to
currently
burn, but it's not burning.
that is potency. Act or actuality is the
That's fucking
fulfillment of that
hilarious.
potency. For example, if I hold the lighter to the bottom of the Communist Manifesto and burn it,
That would be an actualization of the potency that it had to burn.
the capacity to burn
fucking
is the potency.
perfect.
Causing it to burn would be actualization. That would be the
That's fucking perfect. Like, your argument makes the argument, your song makes the argument so much better than anybody else ever did. Oh my fucking God. That's brilliant.
He got in trouble. He got kicked out.
Who you kick out? Who is he? What'd you do? What, Kai?
Who?
Kai.
No.
You didn't kick Kai out, did you?
No.
Kai's my homie.
I didn't kick. I don't see.
Who would you kick out? You said you kicked somebody out. Who the fuck you kick out?
Kai.
My buddy.
Oh, I'm not seeing him.
You love seeing him?
I said I'm now seeing him.
Well, yeah. Who'd you kick out?
Race and
Rayston?
she kicked me out.
She kicked you out. She kicked out the guy I was live streaming with.
Out of the chat.
I
I
don't
think
think
it
she
was
can
because I
kick
said
you.
I said don't.
All
I said
right.
don't.
Hey,
keep
I
your
got my
phone.
headphones back on. Fucking power to the fucking people.
I think it's because I said
My
don't leave.
wife is
Shapiro
a
alone.
tyrant. Everyone in the chat knows my wife is a tyrant.
second.
And so you kicked out my live stream partner. Oh. But he's still here on the StreamYard side, so.
He was saying something about my Shapiro.
What? But you hate Shapiro.
No, I don't hate you. Keep
You said
saying-
you
I
hate.
don't.
Okay, oh my
You see,
God.
That's why this. Now you're I don't hate him.
Shapingo, she claims she doesn't hate you, but actions beg to differ.
Oh, Baron's back. He got out for 10 minutes.
You put Baron out. He's my best chatter.
He's back.
Oh my god. Okay, so note to self: as soon as I feed the wife some wine tonight, I will undo her mod privileges,
No.
and we'll go from there.
No.
What? You're not thirsty? You want a drinky drink? Do you want a drinky drink? All right. What Kai missed was this. So we can do. Actually, hey chat, if you want to, I think we've got to the. Does someone want to hear some more good beats? Kai, you want to hear some beats or wrestling? You want to? Well, let's go a little bit further with the debate, okay? And then after that, we'll finish with some good beats. Fair enough.
That's fine with me. Yeah.
I think we've kind of gone as far as it goes. All right, so everybody in the chat, bear with us. That sounds rather presumptuous, doesn't it, Chipping Grow? My wife is not an assassin, by the way.
Or that there can be an infinite regression that then inevitably explains the contingent things, then I don't see why I would need to accept the PSR.
Yeah, so I'm making a proposition. Again, this is how first principles work. That's why I wanted to explain. I'm trying to help you out by explaining the first principles.
Okay, can you, Wrestling? Sorry, that's why we had to go. Can you explain how first principles work and why this is retarded?
I think he's using first person principles as like axioms, where
like very loosely, right? Like the loosest of the loose.
Yeah, and it's basically what I think he means is that they're just things that you have to accept. Like if you don't accept them, you'll lead to like absurdity or
like a sine qua non, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing as like rejecting the law of non-contradiction. If you reject that, then like.
Or like if we assume there's an a priori, right? But the thing is, like, by saying it's first principles, you can't like fucking in my opinion, it's not honest to import in where the fuck you want to put into that a priori boat, right? Like you can't just say because it's first principles, therefore whatever the fuck I want to put in it, right?
Yeah, you need like a reason, like
a rational reason to like if we can't reduce it down any further, we can even just for the sake of argument say, okay, we can just for the sake of argument say it's a priori. But he's like acting like he has the mandate of God to say these are first principles, therefore they are true. So therefore accept my first principle. And by the way, there are 8 of them.
Yeah, I do think that the principle of sufficient reason kind of is a first principle, though, depending on the formulation, because
I think not. I would agree that there is a formulation where that could be the case, but this is not anywhere even adjacent to the case. Yeah.
I mean, we still haven't defined the PSR.
Wouldn't that have been helpful from the beginning?
Yeah, we still don't know what he thinks the PSR is, so I don't know. I mean,
the only thing is that Parker says I don't like the PSR. He's like, "How dare you not accept my PSR?" Like, okay, we'll keep going.
Do you think that the PSR is a logical or a metaphysical principle?
Logic is metaphysical. What are you talking about?
Oh my god! Sorry, I'll keep playing, but I know we both have issues with that, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me clarify though. Like, do you?
What does that even mean? What did you just try and put logic and metaphysics
I'll keep playing. I'm sorry. I'm triggered. I'm sorry.
against each other? What does that mean, Parker?
I'm not saying that metaphysics doesn't count in logic. I'm just saying, is it
okay? We can do a drinking game. Whenever he drinks the blood of Christ, everybody has to drink a shot of whiskey. Like, you are drinking from the chalice, brother, and you're questioning the laws of metaphysics in a retarded way.
simply specifically metaphysical, or is it logical? Like, is it in classical logic?
Parker, you fucked up by saying classical logic, bro. You had him on the ropes. Keep it on the ropes. Keep going, brother.
It's a first principle. It's Aristotelian logic. I've clarified.
Is it classical logic, sir? Is it like one of the classical understandings of logic?
Do you want me to explain first principles? I'm really
one of the classical.
You haven't answered my question.
Is it in classical
You
logic?
haven't answered my question. I'm trying to
answer your own question, retard.
Logic.
You said that you deny the principle of sufficient reason. Can you explain what
Is
that
it
is?
in
and why you
classical
deny it?
logic?
Whoa, you can't say that I'm not answering.
He's
your
not answering my
question.
question.
Can you explain it? He asked, finally, for the love of God, someone asked him to explain the principle of sufficient reason, and he won't do it.
Is it in classical logic?
What you have to answer.
Is it
my
in
question
classical
first.
logic? Yes or no?
I will answer first.
No, you'll
You
answer
have-
right now.
No, I will answer, but you have to answer
You
the
can't
question
answer.
I asked
You don't know the answer according to your own reasoning earlier?
No, because I am answering.
Is it in
I asked
classical
you a
logic? Yes or
question
no?
previously, and now you're running from it. This is so bad, Parker. This is bad, man. Just answer. Why is the
So
principle?
you can't
of
answer the
sufficient
question. So is it in classical logic?
Yeah, it's an extrapolation from Aristotle by St. Thomas.
So it's not in classical logic.
It's extrapolation by St. Thomas from Aristotle.
So it's not in classical logic.
Depends on what you define as classical logic.
Okay. All right. So
can you
what's your definition
explain-
of classical logic?
So can you explain now why
What's your definition of classical
PSR is
logic?
wrong, guys?
See, I would let him, except I know, because I've watched it already, that he's not going to. So, spoiler alert, nah.
He's not answering. He doesn't want to answer. Total Thomistic.
Because we're having this conversation, and then you try to constantly change the conversation in order to be able to.
Imagine if he only had the chance to talk 75% of this debate. If only he could explain his first principles. Classic logic.
Specifically the type of dialogue that you want to have, rather than the conversation that we were just having.
So you're not going to get a reason as to why the principle of sufficient reason is wrong.
I gave you a reason that I didn't need to accept it because I simply didn't need to accept it.
Say, I don't accept it.
One, it's not in classical logic. Two, it's not relevant towards the conversation about specifically whether.
Yes, and then assuming that they are all premises to ground his conclusions, even though he never defines it. So you're not wrong. Yes,
we believe in a God or not in the very first place. I don't have to accept it from an atheistic perspective. I'm not
You
committed
more or less got it.
Okay.
I never said it wasn't in classical logic.
Wait, do you agree? I am not
Wanna buy
committed to accepting the PSR.
Well, no, I can show you the PSR, and then you have to tell me why you don't accept it. You can't just say I don't accept it. Like that's like if
Am I committed to accepting the PSR? Yes or no?
Well, you're not, but that's a ridiculous thing to do. You have to show why it's wrong. You can't just say
So, by
I
the way,
don't.
so I'm not committed to accepting the PSR. So can you provide the argument for why I need to accept the PSR?
You need to show a reason as to why you don't accept it. Because
Wait, what? Time. Oh, son of a bitch.
I mean, can you answer
don't
any
even
of
know
my
what it
questions
is.
directly?
you
I
don't
just told
even
you I told
know
you it's the principle of sufficient reason. Please
I
answer the
already
question.
told you. I already
Why do I
said that.
why do
You
I
need
need to accept it?
Principle of sufficient reason is.
Why do
You
I need
have
to accept it? Can you give an argument for the PSR?
You don't even know what it is. How are you
Give
denying
me
it?
an argument for the PSR.
Dude, this is bad, bro. You don't even know what it is.
So instead of actually
Looodle,
providing the
you-
argument,
If you're talking, you're muted. Looodle, you're muted.
Thank you. How about you tell him what the PSR is, and then he can disagree or agree with it?
I do
Like
think
he-
it's.
Really?
I do think it's kind of bad faith for Parker to just reject the PSR without knowing what it is. I'm just gonna be honest. Like,
No,
just-
I agree too, but I think it's like equally in bad faith. Be like, whoa, what is it, bro? Like, but,
Yeah.
okay, so like, no, it's equally bad. Like, wouldn't okay if people were hypothetically in a world that does not exist, we're trying to act in good faith together, right? Wouldn't one of them say, "Well, my definition of the PSR is this," and the other one would say, "Okay, I agree 95%, but I disagree on this bit of it." And there goes, "Okay, well, I'll grant that." And now we can actually have a debate.
yeah. I mean, I agree, obviously, but I do think that like
So Vigi's not wrong here. Yeah. And exactly. And so the thing is, so to be the debate coach, put my debate coach hat on, right? Is if I was coaching Jesus Whatnot, I would say stop being a dick. And second of all, I would say, like, give a definition to the PSR and then ask Parker if he agrees with it or not. If he doesn't agree with it, I would hammer on why. Are there points of disagreement, or you disagree outright? The whole thing this is part of freaking Jesus Whatnot's problem is that he's saying, "Do you accept my definition I ever gave?" Well, Parker has to, from a logical standpoint, a strategical standpoint, say, "No, I don't agree with any of that." Because like Parker, Jesus Whatnot has not given a definition that Parker can agree or disagree with part of it, right? So at that point in time, if I'm Parker, I'm saying, no, fuck you, fuck your definitions, fuck your mother, fuck the horse you rode in on. That's where we're going with it. So if Jesus Whatnot gave a definition that was somehow structured, Parker could disagree with it whole horse, and then Jesus Whatnot's critique about logic could then hit home on Parker. But he eschews the whole whole purpose or his whole line of argumentation about Parker's not accepting because he's not given a proper definition himself. Thoughts, Brad?
Yeah, I think that's right. But I also just want to know that like to Thomas's second way, which is
yeah. So I think we can all agree that nobody here knows, or maybe they know, but they're not accurately representing anything Thomas Aquinas ever said at this point. Yeah,
you don't actually really need the PSR for Thomas's second way.
No, you
so-
don't. And we
so
already,
they-
and apparently we've already like kicked the third way down the road. Apparently, so we're on 1 and 2, and apparently we're like saying no to 2 now.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I don't even know what we're even talking about anymore because I mean
Right.
he amalgamized all of, or not all of them, but at least 4 of Thomas's arguments into one.
So I think you're being very gracious that he amalgamized all 4 of them, but he also added in like 6 more things that weren't any part of Thomas Aquinas ever. So it's like an amalgam
he added
plus.
the kalam.
Yeah,
He added the kalam. So he amalgamized a bunch of Thomas's arguments and then added
and he
the
also
kalam.
added the PSR as well.
Well, the PSR is relevant to Thomas's arguments, just not
Relevant,
the
but the point he was saying is like if you grant PSR, you grant Thomas's argument 1. Was what he was saying earlier, which is like I don't think that does that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't even know what Jesus and whatnot is defending anymore.
But he looks so confident in saying it, which also makes me upset. Like if he was like, and this guy, look, Parker just hit a home run at MLB 2026. He created a player. His name is Parker 2026. Jesus FU, and the fucker just hit a home run when he's playing baseball while streaming with Jesus Whatnot. He's like, hell yeah, my fucking creative player just hit a home run. Look at that smirk on his face. He's like, yeah, home run. Fuck yeah. I mean, that's my best guess.
Yeah, I think it's better to just if you're gonna use like Thomistic arguments, just use one of the arguments. Like don't try to amalgamize them all into one argument.
And don't pull other shit in or go one at a time. We can make, and I think we will do this in future streams, right? I think we have a very good argument, like the Thomistic argument against what my notion of I will call the Kierkegaardian argument for the sake of this stream, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to go through them one by one. And so you're going to provoke the first Thomistic argument, and I'll give what I would say is Kierkegaard's response to it. And if that goes yay or nay, fine. And then the second one, and I'll give my response to that. And then yay or nay. And then the third one, and then yay or nay. And then if you want to amalgamate a fourth argument, or there's a Thomistic fourth argument you can discern from or infer. Well, yeah, okay. So Well, that's what I'm saying. There's the 3 primaries, and then if you want to go 4 and 5, fine. But the same thing is like through down the line, right? We'll deal with these things as a beast unto their own, right?
Yeah.
And this guy is like stealing and borrowing. It's like slice of no swiping. Oh, I'm swiping here, I'm swiping there, I'm swiping everywhere. I swipe it like fucking Charlie Sheen swiping.
Yeah, and then it makes it extra confusing because he also is using the kalam, which is like a entirely different argument from like an entirely different philosopher.
And I don't think he even understands what the fuck that means. And unfortunately, Parker doesn't either. And so we end up in.
I think Parker is just as confused. I think he's.
Well, I think Parker was done 20 minutes ago. I think we all were done 20 minutes. We're like, Parker's just like, yeah, I just hit a home run. I caught a Bulbasaur. I have a great ball. I'm gonna fuck. Like, what are you talking? What now? Which is probably like the most like mental health wise. Like Parker's like acting very mentally healthy right now. He's like, yeah, fuck you. I don't care. All right, we'll keep going. We'll keep going here, and then Darkseid is making me and Emmett debate thing coming out. Yeah, Darkseid is right. Darkseid got this on blast, 100%.
for the PSR. He's just going to ad hominem me and just
No,
act like
I
I'm going to be
just-
dumb simply for not answering his question.
Okay, that was not an ad hom, Parker. Parker.
Complete fucking pivot of questions.
Yeah, so the PSR, I'll explain it
Pivoting is not ad hom. Jesus, Parker, you know that. Come on, buddy.
for you and for the people who don't know.
No, I never said I didn't know the PSR. I simply just asked you, what is the argument for the PSR?
I said I'll explain it for you and for the people who don't know.
How about you ask him what is the PSR? I'm like, for the sake of argument, I'm a retard. What the fuck do you mean by the PSR? That would be a great argument. Sorry, go ahead.
I also just don't like the question. Like, what's the argument for the PSR? Like, Looodle, give me an argument for the law of non-contradiction.
It can't contradict itself.
Like, you can't really give an argument.
Exactly. Right, because it assumes the premise.
Yes, exactly. This would be the same thing with the
exactly.
PSR.
So to assume to make an argument for it assumes the premises are true. So if you like give me the argument for non-contradictory, right? I'm like, it doesn't contradict itself. Derp, derp, derp.
Yeah, exactly. The argument, quote unquote, for the law of non-contradiction is that if I like you have to use the law of non-contradiction.
Right, which proves itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is so bad faith. I don't know if he knows he's being bad faith or if it's just by accident, by being autistic or whatever, right? It's hard to say, but like at this point with so many like tiddlywinks tattling up, like it seems bad faith to me, which is very Catholic should not be bad faith because it's the sin of scandal. Straight to hell for you, my son. I mean, Jesus and whatnot. Straight to hell for you, my son. Scandal, scandal, scandal. Catholic Church says bad baby, bad baby.
So that's actually distinguishing you from those people.
Well, you're also saying you're explaining it for me. Okay, so instead of just providing like an argument,
so fucking explain it, please, God, do it.
For the PSR, you're trying to be condescending and like work around it.
Whether it's condescending or uncondescending, just say what the fuck you mean. For all of us in the crowd, for the angels in heaven, tell us what you mean, good sir.
Like you're like smirking really weird right now because I pointed you out for being condescending.
Yeah,
he's been smirking really weird the whole time. To be fair,
sorry, I smile when I get happy. It's
wow. Take for that what you will.
Humanness. I apologize.
Do you admit you were being condescending?
I was just trying to get you to tell me that you know.
So you weren't being condescending.
I wouldn't say I was. Maybe I was condescending in the sense that I was coming down to your level.
I don't care if you're condescending or ascending. What is your fucking argument, my brother?
You understand, but I don't think
another condescending remark
in the colloquial.
Nobody cares. What is your argument? Jesus.
Term. So
you think Jesus would want you to be condescending?
The principle is.
No one cares what Jesus wants. What is your argument? Jesus and or whatnot and or fuck you and or who says and or Mary says and or my God.
Sufficient reason is that everything exists. That everything that exists has a reason for being, or raison d'etre. Again, sorry for my horrible.
So now we're going back to 3 other arguments ago. So Parker, by trying to poke the bear and trying to like fucking call him out on his bullshit, and then I know what happens. Not calling him out on his regressing in 3 arguments ago, you, my boy Parker, have lost the ball. You are part of the problem. Wrestling, what you gotta say?
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on anymore in the debate. Like I'm lost.
Yeah, Parker, but the thing is, like, you're not right. Darkside is like Parker pushes the buttons, but then when he recoils to like 3 arguments ago with his, hey, Darkside, you know, what color would you call that eyeshadow? Olive, nightshade, like what is that eyeshadow he's wearing? He's definitely wearing eyeshadow, love. All my daughters wear eyeshadow. You may or may not. My daughters do. I know what color they're wearing. All my daughters, by the necessity of the Thomistic law of incorporation, my daughters are lighter skinned than you are. And so I can tell when they're wearing eyeshadow. You may or may not. That's up to you. Dark side. What color of eyeshadow is this son of a monkey wearing?
It's called the closet in Stonehenge.
Thanks, bitch. Oh my god. Well, so since I apparently
I'm gonna kick everybody
made the
out
chat, don't kick anybody off. Pookie, no.
because you made me upset right there.
I'm gonna take your phone. Okay, Dark Side says kind of light brown. Okay, so he's wearing. Hey, stop. He's wearing kind of light brown eyeshadow. We'll go with that. Let's fucking go before Pookie kills everybody.
Horrible French pronunciation. I'm reading Gary Legrand right now, and I'm LARPing pretty hard. But no, everything that exists is a reason for being,
he's
either
LARPing
in
pretty
itself,
hard.
if it is
Okay,
self-existing,
wait,
or from something other than itself.
Definitely.
So that's
Real
the principle of
quick,
sufficient reason.
real
We can
quick.
see this.
Raison d'etre, the reason to exist. What he's trying to say, he said it semi-right, and he's distracted by saying he doesn't speak French good. Raison d'etre. My God.
Using our senses and extrapolating from our senses. So if you want to provide some sort of refutation of that, I would love to hear it.
No, wait, what's the argument? You just said we get it from our senses. Is that all you said?
It's a first principle.
Oh my God. You want to comment or want me to play more?
Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going.
Okay. Yeah, we'll probably lump it in. I got you, bro.
Do I? You said I wasn't committed to accepting that principle.
You have
So
to
please
tell me
explain
why
to me
you
what's the argument for the principle.
You have to tell
Because you're full of shit.
me why you disagree.
No, you have to provide the argument for the principle.
No, it's a direct extrapolation from the senses. So, for example, if I say the grass is green,
Okay, so the
you then have to
so the
say,
argument for the
no,
the argument
my
for PSR
God.
is an extrapolation of
come on,
senses.
Parker. So if I say that the grass is green, you then have to provide a reason as to why you don't think it's green by saying something like, no, it's actually
No, he doesn't.
blue. So you would have to respond with some reason as to why you don't.
No. If he has a counterclaim that says the grass is red, then he would have to provide reasons for that. If you say the grass is green and he's like, okay, that's fine, he does under no obligation morally, legally, or ethically to say the grass is not green. Fucking false trap, fucking dump.
don't believe this. You can't just say, I don't believe it.
No. You're providing
Yeah, you can say that.
an
Fuck
argument,
me.
right? And your argument is it's an extrapolation of senses. So are you saying it's necessary or it's likely to be the case based upon our senses?
It's neither.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
It's a principle that
Yes.
that you can't deny, because in denying it you'd be using it. It's the same
Right.
thing with the law of non-contradiction.
Right. It's inherent. To make the claim the grass is green, you have to inherently agree that you observe the grass is green. Otherwise, how do you arrive at that assumption or that assertion, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, if we're doing an internal, there's not any internal critique here. It's like, I think the grass is green. That means that I have to have the underlying fundamental assumption that I observe the grass is green, and my consciousness thinks the grass is green. Therefore, I can make the assertion the grass is green. Okay, cool. Next.
Yeah, but like the thing is he never articulates this. And so,
Exactly, right? Because he goes to like, well, he's already using premises as his conclusions.
It's an extrapolation from my senses. Like, what?
He's like, how dare you not extrapolate from my sense data? I'm like, well, that is a problem, because we can talk about your sense data and my sense data. So maybe like, and this is, I hate the whole like that fucking thing that Pisco did like months ago about like, well, what is water? Well, water is blue. Well, what does water actually mean? What do you that's so dumb. And we've already gotten past that logically by the argument we just made, right? Is that my sense data says that water is wet. My sense data says water is whatever color is behind it. Okay? So I can logically say that I perceive water as wet and as the color of the thing that's behind it because it's clear. Whoa, what if it's fucking frozen? Well, that's not what we're talking about, is it?
Yeah. So there are people who deny the PSR. They'll say because they acknowledge that they want to say that brute facts exist, so that there are facts out there without explanations. But Parker never gets to articulating that either.
He doesn't. But also the thing is like people who deny the PSR on those bases, right? Like also end up like granting like 7/8 of the PSR by their own admission.
Yeah, so I wanted to comment on this too.
Yeah,
Like
please.
Dark Side said. That's correct. He said something about like a contingent thing is something that could not exist. That's not correct, or
Yeah.
at least in the Thomistic conception.
This
That's
fucking
like
pen.
yeah. So a contingent thing is that its essence. So what it is doesn't contain its reason for existing. Um,
Right. That's a very like platonic. So the thing too that really bugs me is that's a platonic argument for existence. And he says, "Oh, it's super Aristotelian, filtered through Thomas Aquinas." I'm like, no, you're actually
Well,
arguing a platonic argument at that point.
essence existence is an Aristotelian distinction.
Well, sure, but by saying that it exists because it is platonic.
Yeah. The Thomistic conception of a contingent
Yeah.
thing is that it doesn't contain the reason for its existence in and of itself. So
No,
or
absolutely,
the
absolutely.
per se.
But so what I'm trying to say is, I think he, in his notion of Aristotelian contingency, he's already importing a platonic concept he doesn't actually agree with.
Yeah, that's possible. I think he's importing. I think he's heard people make a modal contingency argument, which
Yep.
basically is that in like a contingent thing is something that could have failed to exist in a possible world. So
Sure.
they'll shorthand that to a contingent thing is something that could not exist. And
Yeah, and then he kind of like short circuits his argument by saying it's all the way of Aristotelian.
yeah, but yeah, that's not Aristotelian and it's not Thomistic.
Exactly.
Modal logic came way after.
Yeah, that was like 18th century, right?
Yeah, like planting a. No, it was more recent than that actually. Like, or I guess modal logic was being used, but it wasn't formalized until like the 19th.
Oh yeah, it wasn't formal. Yeah. I would say Spinoza was kind of modal logic-ish in the whenever Spinoza was alive, which was before that. But yeah, I mean, we can make arguments over that some other day. But yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, it's his premise one is not Thomistic. I would agree. Is basically what I'm saying. But yeah, we can.
This is hilarious. Yeah, we're talking energy, Kai. We're talking total energy. Fucking Kamehameha. All right, so let's play some more, and then we want to go back to the tracks that are awesome. Dark Side. Okay. Dark Side. Hey, Dark Side. You are the founder of the feast of the amazing track. So your comments get primary attention. Do not put Dark Side in the punt. Do not put Dark Side down or else. Don't do it.
Yeah,
no
so
dinner
this
for you. No dinner
this
for
is
you,
another
Pookie.
thing.
I'm already not getting any dinner.
I made
This is-
curry.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself while I argue with my wife about whether or not she gets dinner.
Yeah, Dark Side. This is where I was saying that I think he's importing like the kalam into the second way, like because you're right. The premise 3 and premise 4 are not the correct type of causal series. Where Thomas wants a hierarchical causal series, and then like the kalam wants like a temporal one. So like it's prior and posterior to. I don't know. What's going on in the? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Yeah, dark side. I don't know if you were here for this, but I was saying that none of his premises contain potency or act, and then his conclusion contains potency and act, and so like you can't really you can't get a conclusion out of like premises that aren't there. What's my first principle? I don't know if I have a first principle, like specifically.
So I'm back now. So go ahead. Like, what is your first principle? If you can say it, maybe it's a trick question. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a first principle, like a specific first principle. I have some axioms that I hold to, like
Cool.
the principle of sufficient reason,
Right.
you know, the law of non-contradiction. But I don't know if I have one specific first principle. Oh yeah, I also hate Rousseau. That's also true.
I think every well-thinking citizen should hate Rousseau. I agree with that.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you support me against Shapingro here.
Yeah, well, Chapingo's like all over. Leave Chapingo alone. You've almost potted him down. Now you're on his team. Oh, my wife is so inconsistent. She's basically a Marxist. You're not. I'm not a Marxist, Daddy. Okay, whatever. Why should they hate Rousseau? Oh, go. You go, then I'll go. Oh, we can do 2 hours on this. Hit
it. Everyone should hate Rousseau because
absolutely
his social contract theory basically allows rights to be anything that you could possibly come up with. And so like the whole idea behind Rousseau's social contract theory is that you're giving up your rights to live in a society, and the society agrees what rights should and shouldn't be upheld.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, you can kind of make up anything as a right if you take Rousseau's social contract theory.
No, we don't mean Locke's. We're talking about. We can talk Locke next, but after we finish with Rousseau. So Chapingo, pod yourself down before my wife has to pod you down. Don't nope me. I can talk when I want to talk. I got free speech. So Rousseau's basic claim, as everyone says, is man is born free and everywhere he is in chains. Which means essentially that the social structures are the only things that are oppressing man. So Rousseau is in an essential way an anarchist. Not in my sense of anarchy, which is a association of free-minded individuals, right? But Rousseau says, like, man is born free and everywhere is in chains. And so we need to go ahead and coalesce to break free from the chains of feudalism and then elect ourselves a new monarch. So Rousseau got us Napoleon. Rousseau got us the French Inquisition. So, like I mean, I can give more philosophical examples, or if you want practical examples, we can go down the litany.
Yeah, we're going off the rails. The chat's talking about rights and Locke now.
Let's play these guys for a second more. I suppose.
Yeah.
Let's circle back to the idiots on stage as opposed to the idiots in the 16th and 17th century.
No, I'm saying that this is the extrapolation, the logical extrapolation from our senses.
So is it more likely to be the case?
Facepalm.
Or is it necessary to be the case?
I think I would say based off of senses alone, we could say that it is logically the case.
So necessary?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it necessary.
Okay, kid. Based off senses alone, we can say this is logically the case. Help me.
I don't know what that. I don't even know what that means.
It doesn't mean anything.
Based off senses, we can.
Based off senses alone, we can logically say this thing is the case. That was the words.
Maybe what he means to say is something like based off of my experience with things that I come into contact with have explanations. Therefore,
Man, that is the most racist interpretation I've ever heard anybody giving everyone.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't,
Dark side's around this, like, yep.
yeah.
We'll see. Let's see where he goes with it. I'm sure it's nowhere good. And here we go.
Really has to be held, but I would say it is.
So it's not logically necessary.
You would have to
Logically necessary. You ponder that on your own.
provide a reason as to why you don't accept my first principles. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
So you're not providing an argument. So is it probably
Huh?
argument you're providing based upon the senses, or
just say I disagree and therefore I'm right? You have to.
No. I'm asking for your argument for the PSR, and right now you're trying to say it's an extrapolation based upon our senses. Okay, what particular sense data justifies the PSR?
Yeah. Okay. Let me explain first principles to you. So the principle of sufficient reason specifically. Do you know what it comes after?
Instead of asking me questions, please answer mine.
Okay. Yeah. So
because he still hasn't provided the argument yet. Like I'm asking for the extrapolation. What is the argument? You said it's an extrapolation of senses. So is that probabilistic or is it necessary logically?
Yeah. So the first principle that we have is the principle of contradiction, or the principle of identity. And so this is the principle in which somebody can know that being is different than non-being. So for example, if I touch something, I can say there is, and therefore there is a difference between there is and there. What are you typing?
I'm typing principle of identity in my notes.
No, you can't. Oh my god.
What does this have to do with anything? He asked he asked for an argument for the PSR, and then he just started going off about the law of identity. Like what?
And he's like, "What are you typing?"
I don't know. I don't know what they're even arguing about anymore.
No, it's not. It's so dumb. So dumb. Hey, Dark Side. Can we get the hey Kai, are you still here? Kai, if you're here, I want to play. You kicked Kai out? Son of a bitch. You kicked Kai out? How long? Kai! I have to go on Discord and tell him my wife is a so-and-so, and now he's in my Discord. Pookie, why do you make my life more difficult for me? Kai! Son of a bitch. He's back? I don't. How do you know? He hasn't messaged since you booted him. Kai! Well, thank God you didn't move for 24 hours. So let me go into my Discord real quick and say, Kai, you're welcome back.
Can you play it? Well,
no, absolutely. No, I should totally. No, thank you. We're maximizing time. We're time maxing. Shapingro has thoughts. Don't boot him. You can't boot him. Oh yeah. Hey, send me that one too. And but the AI is working on the me and Emmett song, right? Dark Side. Send me that one. I'll play that one, and then hopefully the AI is working on the me and Emmett one because I think it's hilarious. I think the AI would have fun with me and Emmett. I think the fact. Never mind. Sorry, love. Hoof. Okay, so what am I? Huh? Don't you do not clean my chat up. My chat is good as it is. I have the cleanest chat around. So don't mince my meat. I'm playing it now.
I can make sure I know what you're talking about.
Fuck me.
Okay. So the principle of contradiction is.
Would you rather me cut you off?
No, that's fine. So the
Are you trying to act like I have a script or I'm messaging people?
The principle of contradiction
chat is saying
between being and non-being. Okay. Do you understand that?
There's a difference between being and non-being. Yes.
Yeah,
and the contradiction. Yes.
The principle. Well, it's the principle of contradiction. Yes. And so being cannot be being at the same time. Whereas some philosophers really goofily put it,
being can't be not being at the same time. That's what you meant to say.
Yeah. Sorry, did I say it incorrectly?
Yeah, I think you said being and not being is. Yeah. It was an accident.
So
harp on that.
Yeah, and so first principles are something that are directly extrapolated from the sense world. So something that we can tell, such as being from non-being. Now you could say it's not necessary that I accept that being is different from non-being, but it completely reduces everything to absurdity. And so you could say I disagree with that, but you would have to provide your first principle that works in place of the principle of contradiction, non-contradiction, or identity. So that's
how the ones I'm disputing, right?
I'm trying to explain how first principles work with going to the most rudimentary first principle, explaining why you actually have to provide some substitute first principle instead of just saying, hey, I actually disagree. So I would make the argument for the principle of non-contradiction that when we sense things, we can tell that there is a difference. And so what follows from that is that there's a principle of sufficient reason, and that is the determinant reason for being of all things. And it goes as follows. Everything that exists has its reason for being either in itself, if it is self-existing, or from something other than itself. And under this principle, there's 4 categories in which we can kind of establish the reason for being. Something can have its reason for being as a characteristic. It can have its reason for being as an effect of a cause, as a means to an end, or the 4th is just that corruptibility of bodies has its reason for being in matter. And so these are first principles.
You muted Looodle.
Let's take a break here and listen to a lovely new song by our new favorite chatter, Dark Side One.
The favorite chatter get kicked out for a while.
Don't pod the people out, man. You keep podding everybody out. It's called what? Reparations?
No.
That's racist.
No.
Whoa.
It's that
This is the artist formerly known as D-Pain.
Initiation process begins.
So it's hazing. That's been declared illegal by the federal. I mean, the federal government does. That's why you shouldn't marry a lawyer. But I would.
Vigilante. Oh my god.
What did you say?
He said, I'm gonna be honest, I would have gone blood sports by now and just said my first principle is you're retarded, so I don't
Yeah, my first principle is fuck you.
I mean, like, I don't know if it was a slip up, but at one point in the debate, he said his principle was that there must be like an efficient cause, so there's like a first cause, which was just his conclusion to his argument.
Right. He's like, was he basically saying, I don't know what Thomas actually said. I've never read any of the things Thomas wrote, but like, I'm gonna like use my ChatGPT version of Thomas to like shoehorn all the arguments I want in right now. I think, right?
I don't know. I know he's reading Garrigue.
Look at Dark Side's on your side, baby boo. My wife just said, But no, absolutely no. The thing is, like, it's very hard for me to believe.
I have not gotten any flowers.
Shush.
I need Louis Vuitton. He has not gotten me any flowers.
Because you want flowers. We're saving for your Louis Vuitton because you kill flowers. We don't tell them that. If I see in the chat we're saving for a Louis Vuitton, you know who will donate? 0 people. Flowers are much more tangible. Fuck. This is the same argument they're going over right now. What's a tangible actual goal? Your soul salvation, or whether or not you kill somebody today? Thanks for playing, Pookie.
Birds need to go.
No, keep the birds. We love the birds.
Initiation process begins.
What? Oh my god. Okay, so I'm trying to do. Okay, go ahead and talk about the actual logical arguments while I'm loading the new audio that our good friend Darkside made.
Darkside's safe. She's one of the 3 that are safe.
Well, that sounds racist as fuck, doesn't it?
Darkside, Shapringo, and Varen. They're the only 3 that are safe. Right
How about Jared?
Who?
Jared?
I haven't seen him.
He's the only one who actually paid you money.
You mean Jason?
Oh, Jason, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm dyslexic. I'm sorry. Fuck my life.
Say my name.
Yes, you can. Yes. Set a date and time, and you come over to the plan. We cooked all the ones we have, but we're going to Cincinnati in the near future to make them. Yeah, I told him. I put pictures up of the plantains. Yeah.
And roti. You gotta make the roti.
I'm making the roti tonight. We're doing a Caribbean roti, no plantains, because somebody ate 18 plantains in 2 days.
I did not.
Someone did.
Darkside, you need to come over for the roti.
Yeah, but that's like tonight, though.
Well, you can make more.
Oh, of course I can. And she's selling Louis Vuitton. Okay.
Advertise. This is your advertise. You get paid.
Never said no. Louis Vuitton. Oh my God!
Your
I don't
sponsor.
think you understand how this works.
Put your sponsor up so you can get paid.
I don't have a sponsor.
This is a sponsor.
No, that's you. You're not a sponsor.
This is a sponsor.
If you pay me money, then you're a sponsor. This is called charity, I suppose. Hey, everybody, want this bag? Would you love to see yourself with this bag? If you don't love to see yourself with this bag, would you love to see your wife with this bag and leave you the fuck alone? Hey, if you want to have this bag and have your wife leave you the fuck alone, buy this bag so my wife might one day leave me the fuck alone. God only hopes. That was a pretty good call, right? I'm great. I'm better. I'm on Tim Dillon level, I think.
Now we can get Morgan and Morgan.
No, Morgan and Morgan hates you. Anyways, going forward, Dark Side made a lovely audio that I'm gonna have to go to Discord and figure out. I mean, Dark Side. I'm gonna I just want to make sure we're all good with this. I'm gonna make some AI videos for these and like post them, but I'm gonna credit you in the creation. Is that sufficient? Or what would you like to make sure we're good? Because you've done a great work on this. I don't want to short you in any way, shape, or form. Okay, that's fine. Whether or not we feed her Caribbean food does not deal with the intellectual property issue I'm trying to deal with, my love. You can't bribe them. It's on the screen. No. All right, I'm going to play this dumb shit while I find the video, okay? By dumb shit, I mean the video we're reviewing.
Extrapolated from
Wrestling, talk over me, please.
All right.
The census directly. So if you want to deny the extrapolation from the census, that's fine, but then you need to show some substitute or some reason as to why you think that that's wrong.
Okay, so I understand that you're saying that like the first three laws of logic, they follow directly from the census because we can see specific examples. If we don't accept them, we can't make sense of the world around us. I think that I can make sense of the world around us without the PSR. I see no issue with being able to do that. So I feel like that's not a response or even an argument for the PSR to simply say that because I accept the three laws of logic, that means I have to accept the PSR.
Okay, so try explain why this exists without using the PSR.
Explain why a pen exists without using the PSR?
Yeah, you said you can have the natural world around you. Explain why this exists without using the PSR.
Let me know when you
based upon my sense data,
stop.
I think that it's reliable, at least in the process specifically, of saying that there are no defeaters. There are no
right now.
there are no defeaters for the idea that exists, and to dispute my sense data based upon the fact that I think that in typical, in most circumstances, it is obviously going to be most likely to be the case that sense data, i.e., whatever I engage with, I perceive through my eyes, my ears, my nose, my mouth, are going to have reliable information predicated off of the fact that there's no defeater against the idea that it's probabilistically true, and then we can also test and replicate those.
You misunderstood the question. So you're explaining that it exists. I'm asking why it exists, not how you know.
It's going to be a probabilistic function based upon.
Take a breath.
No, I'm asking why does it exist?
Stream problems. I'm boomering.
Sorry,
I'm
confused the question.
Sorry.
Why is there a pen rather than there not being a pen?
Why is there a pen rather than there not being a pen? I just told you because of my reliable sense data.
No, that's explaining how you know that there is a pen. But I'm asking, where did the pen come from? Why is there a pen when there very well could be not a pen?
That's what you.
All right. Sorry. I'm sorry, Wrestling. Go ahead, brother.
No, it's okay. I don't really have anything really to comment, honestly.
Except derp.
Yeah, I mean he's.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm speaking out of school. Go ahead.
He's just trying to show that you need the PSR, like to explain the world around you, but
he's doing a very bad job.
Yeah, I mean the thing about that is like, I mean Parker isn't going to present this, and like I don't even think he knows about it, but like, you could take kind of a version of the PSR that says like explain as far as you can, and then accept some brute facts and
then deal with those as they come, right?
Yeah,
like everybody is so like my fucking principles negate all your principles, so I can't even talk to you. It's so dumb.
Yeah, the only problem with accepting brute facts is it kind of becomes arbitrary where you draw the limits
right
of where the brute facts are, and so like I just prefer not to have any brute facts, right? Like I want to explain everything, and I think most of science is based on the fact that there can in principle be explanations for things, right? Like
Yeah, sure. But the thing is, like, if and that's fine, and that's a very like honest position to be in, right? Is like, okay, so like I have a position that I morally agree with that might have some tangible results that are not congruent with that. And that's handle those morally by a case basis. But to have what these guys are doing is like everything is either all or nothing. And if you say anything contradicts me, I'm just going to pot you down, or I'm going to call you a retard or whatever. Like that's not helpful at all for encouraging discourse, right?
Yeah, not really. Dark side manufactured existence is not the same thing as being
Oh, sorry.
caused.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was on the Discord actually downloading the Dark Side the game. Oh, the fucking game. Let's fucking go. We got a new video, not video, audio. I'll make the video later on. So sorry. I'm so boomering this. I'm doing the best I can. I was able to play. Okay, I'm a playlist to figure out how to play Dark Side.
You chose to lift up, or are you asking like why was this created rather than something else being created?
You know the question. I'm asking why does it exist when there could be no pen in the first place?
There could because nuclear war killed everyone, so you have no pen in the first place. Oh my God, the pen is the stupidest example of a prime cause because anybody can make a pen. That pen he's holding was probably made within the last 2 years. So why could that pen not exist? Because the guy who made it did not, because of a nuclear war in the last 4 years. Like he doesn't understand. He's arguing. So I am very upset with consequentialists in general. I am more upset when deontologists and or virtue ethicists, which I think he would call himself one of, if not, then whatever the fuck he is, uses consequentialist arguments in their rationale. So because this pen could not exist, therefore it's a good, like, what the fuck? And the fact I'm like, oh, look, I got a mouse. Oh, look, I win. Oh, I got me a mug. Oh, I got me a mug. Oh, my mug is the same fucking color as your fucking eyeshadow. Oh, I win. Has nothing to do with anything.
I'm genuinely kind of confused with the question you're trying to ask because the way I'm interpreting it, when you're saying, why is there this pen rather than not? It's because you're deciding to lift this up to show the live rather than lifting up and picking up something else to show the live.
Oh my God. To be honest, let's go back a second. That's not a pen. That is a fucking. It's not a pen. By definition, that is not a pen. That is a paint Sharpie.
Dark side. I don't understand the difference you're trying to make. Honestly.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Things that are manufactured clearly have causes, right? Like they don't just
the cause of the manufacturing, right?
Yeah, they don't just.
I was lost in the chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they don't just appear out of nowhere. They are caused by something.
Yeah, Zeus did not pull the Sharpie out of his head like he did Athena, right?
Yeah. So I don't really know. I don't know what the difference. Oh, maybe it is this eyeshadow pen.
Maybe. Oh, that is. He's like, well, is this real? Is this real? Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I think. All right, so I think I have. Okay, so we're gonna take a little break for some fun. At the behest, not the behest of, we are indebted to the Dark One for the game. We're loading.
So there are premises
No,
that I'm gonna go
loading.
through.
So this is some first class first. So a little bit of first class first, and then the game. All right.
10 seconds out. You gotta wait.
Who you time out? What did you do?
Wait. Give him 10.
Who?
9, 8,
Who did you time out?
7,
Who?
6,
Son of a bitch!
4,
Who did you time out?
3,
What the fuck?
2,
2, 1. Who did you time out?
should be back.
Who?
Vigil?
You timed out Viggy?
He didn't pay his dues.
What the? This is okay. You are bordering on embezzlement, my love.
Baron said it's okay.
Varen's not a lawyer.
He said it's okay.
Varen is not. Oh, okay. The game. Without further ado, the game.
I don't need the facts, I just need you confused. Shift the definition, make sure it's abused. Stretch what you said till it's barely your own, then knock down the version that I've overthrown. Ask you a question with poison inside, give you two choices and call it a divide. Interrupt the answer before it gets clear. If logic gets dangerous, disappear. Truth is such a troublesome thing when all that I wanted to do was win. So give me a fallacy dressed up nice and watch me roll those rhetorical dice. It's the art of being right.
Hell yeah.
When the truth won't take your side, move the goalposts, change the frame. Call it reason, play the game. Straw man standing in your place. Ad hominem to save my face. I don't have to prove a thing tonight. I've mastered the art of being right. Take your conclusion and make it absurd. Ignore your argument, attack one word. Demand you defend what you never once said, then claim that your silence means I've won instead. Appeal to the crowd when the evidence fails. Confidence sells when the reasoning derails. Speak with conviction, repeat it again. Volume is useful when logic won't bend. Why chase truth when applause is free? Just make the audience side with me. And if you corner me, don't celebrate. I'll simply change what we're here to debate. It's the art of being right. When the truth won't take your side, move the goalposts, change the frame. Call it reason, play the game. Straw man standing in your place. Ad hominem to save my face. I don't have to prove a thing tonight. I've mastered the art of being right. Loaded question, false dilemma.
That's fucking
Cherry
hilarious.
pick the data better. Beg the question, shift the burden. Keep repeating till they're hurting. Change the subject, mock their tone. Make them prove what isn't known. And when every trick has been deployed, just get personal. Argument destroyed.
Fuck
Did I prove it? No. Was I honest? No. Was my reasoning sound? Not particularly. But did the comment section think I won?
Holy fuck, yes!
Obviously.
Hell yeah,
It's
fuck
the
yeah!
art of being right. Where the truth gets sacrificed. Move the goalposts, change the frame. Winning was the only aim. Straw man burning in your place. Cheap applause and saving face. 38 little ways to dodge the light. Welcome to the art of being right. You can win the room, you can win the fight. You can make them swear that you must be right. But when winning matters more than whether something's true, Schopenhauer wasn't praising you.
Schopenhauer was not praising
He
you. Fuck yeah.
was describing you.
Oh! That's fucking brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. Hats off, taps off. Hey, Wrestling. I want to let you say anything you have to say about anything.
They might just exist without using the PSR.
No, don't.
I can, based upon my sense data, I think that
You guys shut up. We don't care about you anymore. You're so dumb. Wrestling, go ahead.
No, I
Don't kick out
still have some
wrestling.
time.
Do not kick out wrestling.
I still have some time. I was just letting you know that I'm gonna have to head out soon.
All right,
But
cool.
I still probably have like 20 minutes or so.
All right, cool. Do not kick him out, Pookie. My wife has this bad habit. I don't even know. It's just the weird temper tantrum thing. Like if somebody says they're going to go in 20 minutes, at 19 minutes, she'll ban them for 24 hours just because she's my wife and I made her a mod and I regret most of the decisions I made in my life and yada, yada. Go ahead. I want a butt whooping. You want a butt whooping? Tell me a butt whooping.
I might like it.
I know. That's kinky. Anyways, wrestling, go ahead.
You could just play it. I mean.
All
I
right,
don't
cool.
have anything. I think we already commented on this part.
All right.
Reliable, at
Thank
least
you.
in the process specifically, of saying that there are no defeaters. There are no.
No, I'm not saying explain that.
See, the thing is, like, this whole defeaters, I mean, maybe you can come on this actually wrestling, is like defeaters is something like Destiny made up like 2 years ago. Like what? Like so I coached debate and I competed in debate from 2020 up through 2016, and then coached from 2016 through 2020. And like nobody in the debate community had ever used the word defeater until Destiny. In my experience, maybe somebody made it up before him, but defeater is a Destiny term. And I'm not even sure what it fucking actually means. Do you have an idea?
Yeah, I mean, I know how it's used in the like philosophical literature. So I think it originated with Plantinga, if I'm mistaken. That's the earliest source that I've read using that word. And basically, all it means is it makes a conclusion less likely.
But it doesn't negate the conclusion either, though.
No, like it's kind of misleading because the defeater seems
exactly right. It seems like that negates. It's like a negator, right? Exactly. And I think that's why Destiny started using it, because he could be like half right, but also like negate. It would seem he negated the conclusion when he's also allowing it to be possibly likely.
Yeah, a defeater is something that gives you a reason to doubt a conclusion. Is how Plantinga uses it.
So So I think we can make it in a legal context, right? Like a defeater is something that would give a jury or a member of a jury reasonable doubt. So a defeater is something that may or may not give a jury reasonable doubt to convict the person of a thing. But that's all it is. It's not 100% on the opposite, right?
Yeah, that's correct. At least how Plantinga uses it.
Well, I think that's how it's. I mean, and that's what. But I think people are monopolizing that term, for their own benefit without knowing where it came from. So I'm very appreciative that you actually know where it came from and actually know the definition. That's awesome. Proceed. You okay?
I'm good.
Oh, sorry. There was there was like a little gap there. You're fine. Go ahead.
No, I think I don't have anything else to comment like on this part. Like you could.
Oh well, I'll keep going then. I mean, do you want to spend your last 20 minutes with me, brother?
There are no defeaters for the idea that it exists, and to dispute.
Too bad you're going to do it.
I think that in typical, in most circumstances, it is obviously going to be most likely to be the case that sense data, i.e., whatever I engage with, I perceive through my eyes, my ears, my nose, my mouth, right, are going to have reliable information predicated off of the fact that there's no defeater against the idea that it's probabilistically true, and then we can also test and replicate those things.
You misunderstood the question. So you're explaining that it exists. I'm asking why.
Okay, we'll keep playing. I want to like play this for like 5 minutes and then give you 5 minutes to comment on how fucked up this is. Okay.
Why it exists, not how you know.
It's going to be a probabilistic function based upon like induction.
No, I'm asking why does it exist? Why does it exist in the first place?
Sorry, are you asking? I'm confused with the question you're asking.
Why is there a pen rather than there not being a pen?
Why is there?
Because you're fucking holding it, asshole. Sorry.
Pen rather than there not being a pen. I just told you because of my reliable sense data.
No, that's explaining how you know that there is a pen. But I'm asking, where did the pen come from? Why is there a pen when there very well could be not a pen?
You might have pulled it right out of your ass. It looks like you pulled it right out of your ass. It looks like it's got poo-poo on it. Sorry.
that's what you chose to lift up, or are you asking like why was this created rather than something else being created?
You know the question. I'm asking why does it exist when there could be no pen in the first place?
I'm genuinely kind of confused with the question you're trying to ask, because the way I'm interpreting it when you're saying why is there this pen rather than not, it's because you're deciding to lift this up to show the live rather than lifting up and picking up something else to show the live.
So you just use the principle of sufficient reason to describe that, though, because I caused the pen to be there. That's what the principle of sufficient reason. Remember, I said effect of a cause.
But you're a contingent thing.
What?
Aren't you contingent?
Yeah.
Okay, so how is that the principle of sufficient reason?
Because the effect, the pen, was caused by me. It doesn't matter if
you're contingent. So how is that?
Yeah, because I have a cause before me. You don't even know. Do you know what contingent means?
Yes, contingent means it could have been otherwise, right?
Yeah, so I could have been otherwise, but that doesn't mean I can't actualize other things through effects. I can still be a cause, and it's not the primary.
I don't think that if I don't accept the PSR, I'm disputing that contingent things can cause other contingent things. Like I already accepted that with this argument. We're arguing that an infinite series of contingent things can cause a contingent thing.
So you agree with the PSR then?
No. What
you just used it to explain why there's a pen. You just used it to explain why there's a pen. So explain why there is a pen. Yes, you did. No, you just did without using the PSR. You just said because I lifted it up on the screen. That's the principle of sufficient reason.
Okay, so how is that the principle of sufficient reason if I'm specifically referring to you a contingent thing rather than a necessary thing that led to this?
Because you're misunderstanding the principle of sufficient reason. The principle of sufficient reason says that even if something is contingent, it can still cause other things. Contingency doesn't prevent you from causing things in the first place. So I can be a contingent cause that causes a contingent effect. That's not logically contradictory. So I'm asking you
that the first cause can't be a contingent thing.
Yes, because that would violate the...
Wait. So are you asking for what the first cause is?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what Parker is arguing. Like, he seems to think that if the explanation is contingent, then that means it's not an explanation, which doesn't make sense. And then this the other guy, he's saying something like, well, he's presupposing the PSR in his question. So remember, the PSR is just there's an explanation for things, and so by asking why is there a pen there, you're already presupposing the PSR in your question.
Right.
And so of course, any answer he gives is going to have the PSR in it.
Right, because all the explanations. My wife is poisoning the chat. I'm listening to you. Oh, the men are talking, Pookie. The men are fucking talking. Jesus Christ. Yes. So no, any okay, no. So the whole point is that I admit it's funny, but I'm not the funny man at this moment in time, my love. The point being is that, so at any point in time where you presuppose the existence of the pen, right, you've already bought into the logical construct he's trying to push on you.
Yeah.
So it's bad faith. It's bad faith in the beginning, right?
Yeah. The other thing is it's also bad faith because just because you think that the pen is explained doesn't mean you think everything has an explanation. Right?
What if the manufacturer was what? Okay, so hypothetically, right? Like, God has the Israelites out in the desert, and God, instead of manna, sent them down 40 fucking pens every day. Who's to say that pen didn't come from God himself? And there was no manufacturer other than the primary cause.
Yeah.
I mean, that would short circuit the argument. It's not a great argument. That would short circuit their argument, though, right?
Yeah, like say I think that a brute fact is that the universe, the Big Bang happened, right? Like that's my
sure. And even on the other side, say God said bang and it happened. Okay, fine.
Yeah, so if I take that as my brute fact, I might have an explanation for everything besides the Big Bang, right? Like, and so like just because he's giving an explanation for why the pen is there doesn't mean that he subscribes to like a broader principle of sufficient reason.
Right, and so you have to like drill him down on that. And again, it's the whole like, oh, you said this one thing. Well, that means you mean like X, Y, and Z. So then they're trying to grill him down like 3 steps away from the actual contention they made. And like, well, since you said that, then that means that. Like, that's like the worst faith. It's not even bad faith. It's like worse faith argument.
Yeah, and also I just want to reiterate for like the third time. Yeah. The principle of sufficient reason isn't even relevant to the Thomas's second way.
Yes.
It doesn't even matter. The Thomas's second way is about causes and causal powers. It's not about like explanations for things.
Wait, PSR. Hey, what the fuck you mean? PSR, yeah or nay? PSR, right now, yes or no? PSR. That's fucking so dumb. Like,
but
And that helps advance, because I think you and I both agree, like, the whole point of these debates are supposed to be about, like, furthering human reasoning about very difficult topics, theological topics, like sectarian topics, whatever it is, moral topics, logical topics, ice cream topics, whatever, who cares, right? But like, it's supposed to be like a forum where the people can come and voice their opinion. If you're like, you agree with the really, really, really rad, really, really bad way I bastardized Thomas' second principle, agree, yes or no? Like, that's just fucking terrible. Like, what the fuck is that even supposed to do to anybody?
Yeah, and you're right. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
He said it was right. I win. I'm just joking.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out. But, I guess.
Hey man, this has been a pleasure. Hey man, hit me up. We need to do this further. We'll do a Kierkegaardian Hegelian analysis. I don't think we need to debate anymore. I think we need to just like fucking dissect what happened to humans between 1860 and 1940. Cut it off there, and we'll go from there, eh?
yeah, but I'm glad I got to come on, and this guy, I think he is. I want to say that I think
this fucking guy.
I think he is a Thomist. Like, I think he subscribes to the principles of Thomism.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think what he's trying to do is just he's trying to lump all of Thomas's arguments and the Kalam into like one argument.
But that's not how that works. So he's a retarded Thomist, or is he a bad? So okay, so and I'm not gonna hold you to either. If you had to bet today, Polymarket says, and you've already put 100 tokens down, is it the fact that he's a bad faith Thomist, or he's an ignorant Thomist? You have to choose one. Yes or no, up or down. I'm not saying you're not held to that, but based on the evidence you have before you, would you think he's a bad faith Thomist or an ignorant? I already have my opinion. My opinion is locked in. I think you know what it is. What is yours?
Yeah, do not prescribe to malice what you can prescribe to incompetence.
So he's a dumbass. So he's a dumbass Thomist.
Yeah, that's what I would bet.
All right. I mean, I will change my opinion to say that I'll agree. He's so can we agree that like a dumbass Thomist like doesn't know what a Thomist actually is? Like, how far does that go?
I think he ascribes to the principles of Thomism, so I would still call him a Thomist because like he ascribes to the essence being just the essence existence distinction, the act potency.
That's why I would say and hey, Jesus and whatnot, hit me up on Discord, hit me up on YouTube. Let's have a talk. It doesn't have to be on live stream, but like I'm a Catholic. I've done all the apologetics. I've done Orthodox apologetics. I know all the apologetics. I've done Islamic apologetics so I could integrate Muslims in Iraq. Been there, done that, extra. But like, let's talk about this on the backside, and we can have some considerations about what the fuck Catholic apologetics and Thomism actually means. Because I think at this point in time, if I assume my buddy here's principles, I would either have to assume that you're stupid, which I know you're not, or assume, and this is my position, not my buddy's position here, that you are acting in bad faith. Because if you espouse the principles you claim to espouse, there is no way you could hold the positions you hold unless you were doing it in bad faith. And so come find me at Loomis Debates, come correct me. And you can call me a retard, call me whatever you want to call me in the backstage, call me whatever you want to call me online, and we'll sort through this. But I think Rasslin has proved the point that, and Rasslin is a much nicer gentleman than I am, and I love you, and I love Catholicism, and I think you're doing us dirty, which is why I have the problem with you, brother. Have fun wrestling. Go get some steak. Go get some beef tips, brother.
All right, you have a good one.
Hey, take it, brother. All right. We're going to remove wrestling. We're going to add. Don't call him nothing but call him that from there.
Add me.
Add you?
Yes.
No. No. Your tits are hanging out. I can't add you. Put your tits away.
That's not true.
Well, it was true. I saw some areola. Nah. Now it's online. Who cares? I'm playing this one clip, and then after that, I'll add you, and you can do with that what you will. Okay. This is my ultimate analysis of the debate after I figure out how to unboomer myself. All right. The Sigma. All right, cool. I think I figured it out. No. As you can see on the right, yes, I watch a lot of Ancient Aliens. Go fuck yourself. Yes, I do. For the lulz. And because Giorgio is my spirit animal. And so is everybody else. All right. Boop, 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 doop, 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 doop. Charging my attack.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
There we fucking go. Do you have another clip you want to watch, love? Or did that encapsulate it? What? Huh? I don't think that's true. All right, we're just going to call it now. Thank you. Thank you, Blue Aqua Gator. No, don't boo anybody. I'm just going to suck. We're ending it now before she boots people. Don't do it, Pookie. Don't do it.